going on, guys? I am Gray.
Wolfman, how's it going, everyone?
I'll tell you how it's going.
That's my pretend happy voice. Hope everyone bought it.
It didn't feel genuine.
All right, I'll try harder next time.
No, you won't. I'm pumped. I just got done.
It's that thumb in the ass video you sent me of those wrestlers. That chain of thumbs in the asses that got you pumped.
Jushin Thunder Liger is a wrestling legend. Okay? And if anyone could flip 10 guys with just their ass cheeks, it'd be him.
I don't know what I watched. It was weird, but I did laugh.
Are you familiar with Joey Ryan?
I'm not familiar with anyone or anything that went on in that video.
No, he's not in the video, but he's more current. He's not an older wrestler.
No.
His whole gimmick is like he has like this magic cock, and like certain matches he's been like, how the Undertaker used to come down. Well, like, remember the Undertaker used to come down and he'd have like the druids, like the people dressed in capes, they'd walk down. Well, he had guys dressed in like these big penis costumes, and like his penis is his power. So like opponents will run and go to grab it, and then like he'll look like he's flexing his whole body when he's really like flexing his dick, and the other wrestler, he's grabbing it, and like all of a sudden he drops to one knee and it looks like he's in pain. Like, I'll have to show you videos, but
I feel like people are thinking we're describing gay porn right now, and we need to change the topic real quick.
Listen, look, street porn wasn't the only thing in the Grindhouse, okay? And if one day we got to record, Remy
we are
to
not
4
recording gay porn.
review.
Whoa, buddy. So one day if we got to, easy there.
Listen, times are tough out there. I'm not working as much. I have to break out my porn name, Long Rod Van Hugendong, and we're gonna have to get some action going. Not together, obviously. I mean, you're not my type.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. No, the reason I'm pumped is because
I can sit comfortably next to you.
Well, let's not get carried away. I mean, the reason I'm pumped is because this week's movie is not your standard horror movie. We've covered a lot of horror movies, but the Grindhouse played everything. Exploitation, B movies, cult movies, of course horror movies, and I think we've done a lot of horror because we're horror fans, like in particular, but we're movie fans.
And so are our friends, so we wanted to build off that. A little bit of an audience, and now it's time to change it up basically a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's enough horror movies out there that we could only do horror, but I think after a while we'd probably get burnt out,
I would personally.
Well, I could watch horror movies, but having to break down and review every movie every week and take notes, I would, I'd want to change it up. And that's why I like the Grindhouse features, because we have everything from like Death Wish and Maniac, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, to I Spit on Your Grave. I mean, it's everywhere.
Well, I actually stopped watching horror movies on the regular until we started doing this podcast again, basically. I started watching more horror movies again. For like years, I haven't watched like horror movies on the regular. I did watch a few movies here and there, but I'm talking like I used to watch horror movies like every day. You know what I mean? Like, you saw my movie collection. I would literally watch something.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'd go around looking for stuff, all the time. I just haven't, until recently. There just hasn't been a lot of good movies, and nothing's really been grabbing my attention so much.
That's the one thing I appreciate Gore for, is because she keeps us up to date on new stuff. And granted, she does watch everything. And some movies that we would think are complete trash, she just enjoys to sit through and like laugh. And you know what I mean? Like Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Velocipaster. Talk about broken hearts and, was it Broken Hearts and Empty Dream? Whatever, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some dumb P-line, tagline. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's just that movie, well, looking at, like, box cover art, like, had such promise, and it was such a giant heaping turd of a movie, It wasn't bad enough for me to turn off. It was just good enough to keep going, hoping it was going to get better, and it never got better.
Yeah, like every time it looked like something promising was going to happen, something like not very entertaining would happen. But then it kind of built up a little more. It's like, all right, well, like let me at least see where this goes, and then it doesn't go anywhere.
You get like 10 to 15 minutes of crap, and then like 30 seconds of something funny. Then you're like, all right, well, maybe they did this. This is a good.
Let's keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe just like, But talking about that analogy makes me break into this movie now because, yes, it is something different, but it's also something that's not particularly very good, but it's also not particularly very bad either. Like, it falls in that, like, average Grindhouse release, which that was kind of the thing. A lot of these Grindhouse movies were just kind of you didn't make it feel one way or the other, so that's why I thought this was a good. I thought this was a good movie at first. I remember it being good, but it turns out I just remember the ending being good after rewatching it again, and the rest of the movie was just kind of like, like it keeps you going.
But here's the thing, though.
But
like how should I? A lot of Grindhouse movies that are good make it out of the Grindhouse. So like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Death Wish, those were Grindhouse movies, but they were not your average Grindhouse movies, and they got popular enough that they became somewhat mainstream.
I would say 3 out of 5 of the popular ones made it to mainstream, and there's those 2 that just stay there that are good but never get the recollection they should.
Right.
Absolutely. And those 3 end up being the pop culture movies that we like, or love. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something.
Yeah, or Last House on the Left, or, I Spit on Your Grave, Dolomite.
Well, those never really left, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Those would be in the 2, I think.
Yeah, I could see that, but then again, like we were saying, a lot of it's subjective. So if you go in there looking for a specific, say you go in there and you're expecting like Die Hard, or when I know Die Hard wasn't a Grindhouse film, but I'm saying you go in expecting Die Hard and you get Cracker Jack.
Yeah. No, well, like movies that made it out, like you said, were Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Rambo 2 was in the Grindhouse at first, even though Rambo was a hit, which is kind of weird because that Rambo was in there in the first, like Rambo 2, because Stallone, had some pretty good movies going at that time. Then you had
he was already on his way.
Shit, I just had like 4 movies on the top of my head. This wasn't planned, people, so I didn't write any of these down. So now, for some reason, I'm pulling.
You got like the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah. So a lot of Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns came out of the Grindhouse and ended up being like classics. Yep.
Night of the Living Dead. Oh my God, yeah.
Yep. That's another one. Yeah, these were like more of the, like, I wouldn't say newer, but they're more like the action variety. But yeah, those are more horror based and stuff, and the westerns, like the 36 Chambers of the Shaolin. I think that left. That was like a very, very popular movie, and that was martial arts. Especially among a lot of rappers and stuff. But like it was a very popular movie in general.
Yeah, and like a lot of Bruce Lee stuff started in the Grindhouse.
Yep.
Like, Enter the Dragon and stuff like that. Which I think is awesome that America got their first, taste of that type of film from Bruce Lee, because there's tons of movies in China around that same time period that are awful.
Chuck Norris got out of the Grindhouse. I mean, he did Cannon Films forever before he really got like a huge release from like a major studio company, and we should do a thing on Cannon Films, even though like a lot of Cannon Films will end up doing, but
I think naturally we would be covering a whole lot of Cannon Films.
Yeah. But they're an interesting company though. It was their story. There's a Netflix special about them.
I saw something on YouTube a few years ago. It was a weird time in the entertainment industry.
That it was.
Now, besides Sergio Leone, with the, his spaghetti westerns, there was also a lot of Italian horror directors who came stateside due to the Grindhouse, like Dario Argento. Like Suspiria is considered one of the best horror movies of all time, and nobody would have ever known about that if it wasn't for the Grindhouse. But then you have your specific movies in the Grindhouse that that's the only place you're going to find them, and that's okay because that's why you go. And I think that's what today's movie is.
Well, first I would like to bring up, since you brought up Suspiria and being like one of the best considered, do you actually consider it one of the best horror movies?
I would say top 30, but not top 10.
Yes, I watched it again recently. Well, within the past like couple years, I should say. I haven't watched it,
yeah.
And I don't like it at all. I found it very boring. Now, it was filmed very nicely, and the sound and the score was done very well. And I feel like that the cinematography and the score carried the movie, and I think people get lost in that and give it better claim than it really is. Obviously, that's going to be a comparison movie eventually on the line, because there was a remake to that, which some people love. Actually, most people I hear loved it, but I didn't see it yet. But I can't picture it being any better.
Haven't seen it yet. Well, if it's made in a modern way, a lot of people could also be doing the comparison like they did for The Hills Have Eyes, where it's just a little bit more faster paced, or it's a little more fleshed out. Or, what I mean?
I can't picture them filming it and doing the score any better, because he really was a master at sound and cinematography. Now, I think the plot and the pacing of the movie kind of sucked, but like I said, that's for another review. But I was just curious what you thought since we brought it up. But we were also jackasses and didn't go over the news. What's going on this week before we get into this movie?
We always, all right. So like we'll talk to each other early in the day, and we'll be like, we'll record at 9. And we get on between 9 and 9:30, but then we talk for like an hour before we even record, So finally, he just said tonight, and we've thought this probably every week before, like we should just be recording this as well. This conversation.
Some people might want to hear it. I get, want to know what's going on in our brains, and just our normal chit chats. Somewhat, it can be kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, a lot of time, we do discuss other things besides movies, but movies that have a tendency to get brought up. Obviously, like we talk about the episode, we talk about certain things, and what's going on with the channel. Basically, we're all still in quarantine, so I know it's gonna sound bad, but I don't mind it.
I basically quarantine myself normally beforehand, so it's really not much different to me. The only difference is the people I live with are at home more.
Yeah. It is. I don't want to sound insensitive, because there's people out there who are not working because of this, and currently I'm working less, but I'm still at least bringing something in. So I wouldn't want this to happen all the time. But on the other hand, I'm seeing all my friends on Facebook who are getting this little bit of time off, like getting caught up on movies and documentaries and books, and like they're enjoying their time off. It's not like, you know what I mean?
I think the majority of the world needed it, as much as it sucks being financially handicapped. Like, not to get too political, but we're one of the few countries that really doesn't get any time off. Like we work too hard.
Yeah, we are a working nation.
Yeah, we're not fucking Japan or China or whatever with their basically slave labor to a certain extent. We don't have
but we're not like,
we don't have suicide
Italy.
nets on our video, or suicide nets on the side of buildings and stuff, because they're working them 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day. Here they're at least 10 to 12 hours a day working. The average person works.
Yeah, but it's not like my dad told me, like back in Italy, they would have their little siesta or whatever in the middle of the day.
Spain does that too. That everything closes down
Mexico.
for like a couple hours.
Yeah, from like 1:30 in the afternoon, they reopen maybe about 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock. But then a lot of people in those other countries also eat dinner late. So you'll see like a family of 4 go into a restaurant at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night and eat dinner. You know what I mean?
But they also party late. Their fucking bars and stuff
exactly.
until like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, if they even close at all. Where
yep.
a lot of, I mean, we grew up in the East Coast, so it's different for us. We're used to bars being open until 2 o'clock at minimum, and then some will stay open depending on their zoning till like 4:30 almost.
Right. Yeah, like not private clubs, but certain clubs.
Yeah, certain places depending on the zoning. I know a lot of stuff's cut back, and they cut the zoning down to like 2:30 in a lot of places. But if you know people, sometimes you're there until 3. They officially close, but you're still hanging out.
Yep.
But you go to Atlantic City, and Atlantic City is open, 24/7, and Atlantic City was less than an hour drive for me. Pretty much no matter where I lived in Jersey, even here in PA, it's only like an hour and a half away. So,
yeah, and it's the same thing in Ocean City, Maryland. Like most bars, last calls at 2, but there's always things to do, afterwards. So,
but in most places around the country, a lot of bars close at midnight, and like maybe 1 o'clock at the latest. So,
that's
you're
weird.
Talking about Spain and Italy, they don't go out to the bar until midnight.
Yeah, because they're just getting done with dinner.
Yeah, they're just starting. They might go to like a place to get a drink or two and have some hors d'oeuvres at like a little like not like I guess just like a
bistro,
like a little appetizer bar, and then they go to like the main club or wherever they're going after that.
Yeah,
it's crazy how.
But what we're getting to is it's a lot less stress.
Yeah.
And Americans during this quarantine are kind of feeling that lifestyle, having time to be able to get caught up on things and not have to, work your schedule around to be able to do this and that. And maybe some people will come out of this being a little bit more appreciative of their life. You know what I mean?
I think the economy is going to suck coming out of this finally when we do. Some people are going to go a little crazy, but at the same time, I think to a certain extent, some of the economy is going to be kickstarted a little bit because people are going to be energized to work again.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they're going to be like, all right, finally, like, all right, I'm tired of sitting around all this time. It was a nice relaxation for a little bit. My batteries are recharged, so to speak. Like, let's get back to work. Let's work those long hours again. Let's make some money. People are going to be working overtime because they got to get shit out.
Caught up and stuff.
Yeah, products. There's going to be a lack of stuff being made right now. Short supplies. Yeah. So,
well, thank you very much, Ben Shapiro. I know. Look, we actually know other things about life, not just movies and video games and heavy metal music.
If you're going to insult me, I would like to at least you call me like Steven Crowder or something.
Well, I was trying to use a reference that people would actually know.
I think if you know Ben Shapiro, you know Steven Crowder.
I could have said Milo.
Yeah, but he's just a troll. Yeah, but he's just a troll. I mean, technically, they're all trolls. They're all fucking trolls. They're all funny. They all say stupid shit.
Let's not get it twisted here. They're all a little bit trollish.
They're all fucking trolls. They all say stupid shit, and that's why they're fun to listen to. If you don't get offended I was actually going to say that, but I was trying to be nice about it. I'm like, if you don't get offended by them, they actually say a lot of dumb shit that's actually pretty funny. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of trolls, I would love to go over those movies one day.
I saw you post something about that in there.
Yeah,
and it's kind of funny because none of them are really technically related to each other.
Well, no, wait.
I said technically.
You could 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon those movies.
Oh no. I mean like story wise.
Yeah, completely different.
Yeah, like it's like there's a Troll 2, but Troll 1 and Troll 3 and 4 have nothing to do with Troll 2, but they put them in the series.
So he actually got approved for making a sequel for Troll 2, and it's actually going to be Troll 2 Part 2.
Oh, okay. So that's cool because they'll keep it in the series. The series.
Yeah, that storyline will at least be somewhat decent.
Well, it's like they have a Demons 3. It's called The Church, but it has nothing to do with Demons 1 or Demon 2, really. Even though it's considered the third in the Dario Argento's Demon series, but it has nothing really to do with it. And then, as we said, there's Troll 2, and then the other movies, and then there is Ninja 3, But Ninja 1 and 2, it's considered a trilogy, even though they call it Ninja 3, but they're all different stories. It's like this director's trilogy, but it spans like 50 years. The guy made these movies with like a huge, you know what I mean? They don't really go off each other, but it's kind of funny. But like none of them are called Ninja 1 or 2. So, but the third one's called Ninja 3. It's just funny how they name stuff.
Yeah, that is odd.
Yeah.
Well, like the guy who did Shaun of the Dead, he has the Cornetto trilogy, which is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and At World's End.
Yeah, but
they use the same actors.
That's a symbolic
but the movies
trilogy,
aren't linked.
It's different. These are like they're
these
listed.
Are supposed to be in the same universe.
Yeah, they're the way they talk about them. They put them in the same universe, but they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they're complete strangers to each other.
Yeah, because Demons 1 and 2 are linked.
Right.
When it comes to those, and the third one just because Dario Argento has his name on it somehow. I don't remember if he directed it or produced it or directed I forget exactly. There's some weird story to it.
Argento was notorious for walking out of movies that he was working on like halfway through, and he would have to have like other Italian directors come in and finish his shit. And that's where you'd get people like, like Bruno Mattei and stuff like that.
Actually,
like those
I ever knew that. I never read that about him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me though, because Italians are very, very finicky. It's gotta be their way or the highway.
Yeah, he was set in his ways 100%. But the thing is, if you look at someone like Sergio Leone, he made those movies, Fistful of Dollar, Good, Bad, the... You know what I mean? And the studio, when they were seeing the dailies, they were like, oh, I don't know, you should do this, you should do that. And he's like, look, I'm doing what I'm going to do, and you guys are going to release it. And if you don't like it, then don't hire me back. And they brought him back, and he did the whole trilogy, so...
Yeah.
Sometimes they know what they're doing.
They were the Tarantinos before Tarantino.
Basically, yeah.
He's what he modeled himself after, because he's pretty much the only person left in Hollywood cinema that can basically do whatever the fuck he wants and no one will say a thing to him.
And it will always get picked up for production.
Yep.
Like that's a good reputation to have.
He's the last guy. I honestly don't think there's anyone out there that could make a movie that be financed by a major big wig company without producers trying to meddle and fuck with his shit. Like I think he's one of the only people that can do it anymore.
Yeah. Now I don't know. Did he have a problem because a lot of his movies weren't they on like the Weinstein Group?
I don't know about that.
I know there's like a certain set of movies that were always released on those that studio, and I don't know what's going on with that studio, seeing how Harvey Weinstein is in jail and in self-quarantine in jail because I guess he's sick.
There's so many movies on that. If we end up losing them, it's going to be a travesty. There's so many movies on the Weinstein label that are phenomenal movies and just classics.
Both Kill Bills, Django Unchained, and Glorious Bastards, Hateful Eight, they're all under Weinstein, as well as Good Will Hunting, The Lord of the Rings. Oh my God, Shark Boy, Lava Girl. We would be fucked.
I mean, where would we be without Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Seriously, Gangs of New York, The Fighter. Man, there's like
honestly,
Oscar
Gangs
movies.
of New York still has not got a proper Blu-ray release. I don't think still to this day.
Really?
I honestly don't think it has, because I remember looking for it, even on streaming services. It just recently got on Netflix recently, and I don't remember seeing it on any streaming services for a long time. It was missing. I don't know if it ever got a proper release.
You know what? The release that they released is the DVD copy.
Yeah.
So it's not an actual.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they're still porting off the DVD, which is a shame because that is a beautifully shot movie, beautifully directed, and just a fantastic movie just in general. Yeah, because I still have a DVD of it, and it doesn't look like shit, but you know what I mean.
It needs a color correction.
No, it looks fuzzy because it's like 480p, and you're watching on a 1080p TV, and it stretches it. It doesn't look, you know what I mean? It's like watching a VHS on your TV back in the day when a DVD came out. You know what I mean? You want that remastered.
I understand what the color scheme the guy was going for because the time in America and like it is suited.
I liked it. I think it works.
I just think it needed a little bit more of a depth of color because sometimes there's scenes like that are indoors and they're using natural lighting because everything looks real. It does look real, but for cinema purposes, especially with, like you said now, 1080 and 4K and stuff like that, it would be nice to just have somebody punch up the color a little bit so you could just kind of.
I think you just need to get a better TV.
Oh, dude, I have a great TV. That's like the one. I might not have a great computer, but I have an awesome TV.
So we have a couple running jokes. We have a couple running jokes, and him getting off his Mac and onto a PC is the one joke. So if you hear him saying that he needs to get a computer, it's because I bust his balls literally multiple times a day about it.
But I do want to say, with this Mac, am able to produce all the podcast stuff that you guys hear. I'm able to make all the music you guys hear. I haven't tried any video on it yet because I don't want to push my luck. I'll stick with the iPad for that just to be safe. But for what I do, it's working. Now, if I want to play actual games, not like games that came out 30 years ago, on a computer, I'm going to need one built. Or if I want to edit actual movies, not like flipbook movies, I'm gonna need an actual computer built. So,
or to just do any like moderate podcasting with any sort of production value.
Well, that's me. That's not the computer. I could do podcasts. Yeah, no, no problem.
Some of these nicer free programs that make things like look. You know what I mean? Like, don't seem to be running properly on your computer without a lot of like. Maybe debugging and a lot of YouTube watching where they probably just run smoother. You know what I mean? If it was
no. Like, dude, I'm using GarageBand and I've used GarageBand for like 2 years now. And like a lot of music producers are like, well, GarageBand, it gets the job done for what you do, but use Logic and Pro Tool, which I understand, but I'm not going to drop that kind of money for a hobby.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying in general, like.
No, but the podcast with just two guys talking, it's more than capable of recording that. You know what I mean? I would like to get a better microphone. I know you have a real nice microphone.
I don't have a real nice. I have an okay microphone, but it works.
And you have a good webcam. But see, you stream, though.
It's an okay webcam. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to, like, stream and actually record this as a video podcast and stuff, like... really need to like try to get you a better. I mean, we could probably do it with your PC, but I would have to. Well, I would have to do more of the heavy lifting with mine, and I would have to do a lot of producing, which is fine. That's okay. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah,
we would just have to get you a webcam and.
But like for audio, my setup is like legit fine. The sound card is the one that came with the Apple, but from what I heard recently, sound cards aren't what they were 10 years ago. Like a lot of sound cards you absolutely needed to record because of the inputs, where nowadays, like I have a Behringer Xenix Q802 and it's an interface and a mixing board and it plugs directly in my USB, and like the quality's been fantastic,
it's good to go.
But it doesn't match the video, the little camera that's in my computer. Like, it's IMAX, so it has a webcam, but it's not a webcam. It's, you know what I mean?
It's a garbage cam.
Yeah, basically. It's like a rear view camera off like a 2005 Toyota Camry.
It's like my MySpace like profile pictures. They're all fuzzy and taken with like a webcam from
or like a flip phone.
Yeah, flip phone cam.
Like the 0.5 megapixel.
That's why I don't post any older pictures of myself up, because the quality is just so bad of them. It's like the throwback Thursday pictures.
Oh, the dark ages.
The dark ages, yep. I went through the dark ages of the computer.
Oh, I did. We were just talking about the other day, we were talking about how hot shit someone was if they had a T1 line in their house T1, because it was meant T3, for businesses. Yep. And then the speeds of T1 weren't even up to what standard home speeds are. Now, I would say 4G LTE is faster than what T1 was 25 years ago.
Oh, no, like the T1 and T3 lines were like 3 megabytes. Like, that's like nothing. You know
And people
are
were paying like $300 a month for that.
Yeah, it's paying like ridiculous amounts of money. Where like yeah, but they're talking about like the 5G is just gonna shit over your home. That they're talking like you're talking like 2 terabytes or something like that, or 2 gigabyte, 2 gig speed. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like people are don't even get, like you can buy 1 gig internet for your home now, but you don't really get it. You get like maybe like anywhere from 700 to 800 if you have it. Maybe,
and that's
maybe
what
9.
that's what I have. I actually have 1 gig, and I think I tested it. No.
No, you definitely don't have 1 gig because the
No.
numbers you told me were
The price of the 1 gig. So, okay, here's what it was. They wanted to do a package. I said, I don't want a package because I don't need internet. I was like, but at that price, what is your other option? And they didn't go from the base up. They went from the top down.
Yeah.
And they offered 2 gig. And I'm like, nah, that's way too expensive. And then they said, well, we have 1 gig, and I was like, but what's the actual operating
they offered
speed?
2 because I didn't think they had 2 at all.
Yeah. I have Blue Ridge up here. But I also, where I live, it's a big building, and I live upstairs. There's 2 apartments, and then the rest of it's commercial. So I could have easily said, yeah, I'm an office, and I could have got that as like a business option. But like the price was a little,
business usually higher anyway.
Yeah.
They'll charge you more.
But I got 250 gig, and I did the test at it, and I've only been able to test it wirelessly because I don't have anything to hook up to the the router or the modem or whatever.
Did they give you a router or modem, or are you using?
No, I have the one that they have, but I don't have like nothing. I have like I don't even have an Ethernet cable because all my stuff's wireless. So
no, I was just wondering if you.
Oh yeah. They lease it to you for like $5 or $10 a month or some shit. But the highest test I got wirelessly was like 98, and I'm like, shit, I'm paying for like 200 or 250, and I barely break 100. But it's constant 100. It's not like sometimes it's 50 and sometimes it's 120. Like it's constantly around 100. So I'm happy with it.
The upload for what we're doing is what's more important than download, though.
My upload was at like 9 or 10 at the highest, and then on average it's like 5 or 6.
That's crazy though. If you're like paying for 250 download and you barely get a fucking 10 upload, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was advertised as 25 as the upload, and I haven't even seen fucking 15.
Even
or
then,
you know what I
like
mean?
250 download and 25 uploads, like that's like nothing. But I mean,
but what should it be like?
Most people
250 and 100.
No, it should be 250 if they're gonna offer.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it should be, but I haven't. Seen that.
I'm saying if they're gonna offer a 250 to you, they should be able to match it, like the technology, the way it is, like.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I've never seen. Usually, the upload speed's always lower than what they offer for download.
Where I live, I get about 900 download and I get about 800 upload. So
Christ Almighty!
Yeah, it's almost true 1 gig. Like I'm spoiled.
So if you ever wonder why, when you see Wolfman, his left arm is massive and his right arm looks tiny, it's because he has fast internet.
No, it's because I started playing keyboard and mouse. So a lot of AWSD.
Yeah. Keyboard and mouse. Yeah, all those websites. Hey, guess what, guys? We are reviewing a movie today. I swear.
Yeah. Swear. All right. So
but
let's
the
get
news
over
of the
news.
channel.
Yeah.
No news. So next, no, I'm kidding.
No news.
I'm in the middle of recording Grindhaus Radio. I've kind of actually broken it up where I'm not doing it all one night. Like every night I'll sit down for like 20 minutes and I'll just record 1 or 2 sections and stuff like that. So it's, breaking up the workload a little bit, but a lot of new bands, oh man. I just want to give a quick shout out to Horror Punks USA. It's this group. I think they're out of Philadelphia, and they're like a record studio, and they're like their own band, and they promote music, and they do these live shows, and like dude, seriously, like you live down that way, so it'd be a lot easier for you to get up with them. But if I could just like join like their traveling circus and live with them, that would be great. Super cool people, and I'm going to be featuring some of their artists on this upcoming episode. Yeah, the one of it was Dickie Devil and the Deviants, and it's kind of like this horror punkabilly type of 50s like punks. I know it sounds weird.
Psychobilly? Is that what you're
Psychobilly. That's what. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more poppy.
Yeah,
like
it can. Yeah, that's what psychobilly is basically rockabilly, but with a horror element. That's the only real difference.
Right, but it has a little bit more like the ooh that bop that ooh bop, like that boppy kind of sound.
Yeah, it could have all sorts of different variations of it. It's just like metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you're talking like a rockabilly like music with horror elements, it's psychobilly.
I was looking for the term psychobilly, but it is a more poppy version.
Yeah.
Now, there's other bands that are just heavy metal, which is also great because that's my shit.
I like psychobilly personally.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then I've been getting these links for like these, I don't know what you would call it, like a horror rapper, not like ICP and Juggalo stuff, although I'm sure they're fans. And that kind of music does. No. I'm saying that type of music does have its own sound and stuff like that. But it's like rap that includes a lot of horror elements, you know? I like it. Almost like early DMX, you know what I mean?
Just makes me nauseous just thinking about it. That's just me personally. Did I say
not
it
a fan
out loud?
of rap?
I'm sorry. No, I don't. I like some like
you like
90s.
Wu-Tang?
I actually hate Wu-Tang. I've seen them live.
What?
I'm not a fan. I've seen them live and don't like them. Yeah, I like Cypress Hill. That's probably like my favorite.
Yeah, they're good. You know what's funny?
Era, and I like Public Enemy, and that kind of narrows it down a little bit.
What band did you actually think was okay until you saw them live?
I don't. Everyone that I've seen live was pretty much good. Like, I never really had a band that I saw live and I'm like, this is fucking god awful. I can't believe I thought this was good.
Yeah.
At least that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't think that I've ever run into that before. Now, there's been bands that I've seen that are like, I can't believe these guys, like, if these guys can make music, why am I not fucking making music? But I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen them once and I'll never see them again, and I've actually lost complete respect for them, even though they do have some classic songs. Something changed over the years, and it's not what it once was. But Weezer live is horrible.
I've heard otherwise, but I'm not a fan. I never listened to really. You know, I've heard songs by them, like, you know what I mean. I'm just not. It's not my thing.
Sure, no, but the thing is like in the studio they probably play on like real amps and stuff, but live they were playing out of these pods. So basically, it was like these systems that emulate what their studio sound was instead of actually putting the amps and like the pedals on stage. So everything's already preset, and that shit sounds awful live. And I was disappointed. Very disappointed. So we also released our last week's episode of the Serial Killers Academy that we released, I believe, Friday, and that was on Dorothy Puenta. And we are getting ready to record our next episode. We were actually going to record it last night, but this case is a lot deeper than I originally thought.
Well, it's a little deeper, but also getting information on it was a little harder. And plus, with everything going on, it was just a busy week. So we unfortunately had some setbacks, and we're getting delayed on releasing it. So it's probably not going to go out till next weekend, unfortunately. But we're going to record it during the week sometime this week. So it's getting recorded. Do we want to tell them what it is?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, listen, if we do get this thing recorded by, say, Thursday night, and it's 2 a.m, I will still edit it and try to get it out for at least Friday or Saturday, by the end of the week. So
it'll be out by the weekend. Yeah, it should be out by the weekend. It's just it didn't go out this past weekend like we expected.
Right.
So the serial killer we are covering, in case anyone listens to both podcasts, is John Edward Robinson Sr. He is known as the Internet Slave Master. He he had a lot of killings. Well, not a lot. He had a handful of killings previous to internet, but he also moved into trolling for women through BDSM chat rooms. He's considered one of the first internet serial killers. So I thought that would be interesting to cover him.
Yeah, before your Craigslist killers and all that.
Yeah.
You had this guy who was going in the old chat rooms, the like the AOL, before the AOL days.
Some of you might not even know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So AOL was this thing. No, I'm not going to break down AOL.
Dial-up internet, you heard the... yeah, this horrible fucking noise. It took
this
forever
is actually
to get
turning
on the
into
internet.
our ASR episode where we just do annoying noises for 40 minutes.
Just like Dumb and Dumber and just be like...
I'll pan our voices left and right, so if someone's listening with headphones, I'll be on one side and you'll be on the other. We could just scream in their ears.
No, but
make
anyway,
sure you check out.
No,
That's going to be a great episode for sure. The other thing, before we actually get rolling, obviously we're going to have all of Gore's segments through this episode, and she'll have the release during the Serial Killers Academy, and she also has the Kill of the Week, and we want to put those in the episodes as we release them to kind of break up what we're talking about, but also for the end of the week, we release it as its own segment. So it's available on Spotify and YouTube or Facebook or whatever. So if you just want to check out what Gore reviewed for her Kill of the Week, her Pick of the Week, and Gore's Gallows, there's like a nice little 10 to 12 minute segment that you can check out. It doesn't take a lot of time. And she's having a real good time with it. And I know the movie that she's doing for her Pick of the Week for this episode, and I haven't told Wolfman. But
I didn't know
the
last one either, so...
Well, I didn't know much about the last one, but I know about this one, and I know you do not like it.
Okay.
Care to take a guess?
Is she doing Exorcist?
No, you love that movie.
I know it's a good movie, but
no, this movie.
I think you meant like
I hate.
I hate. Is it Thanksgiving?
It's Thanksgiving.
It's doing something. Yeah, but when the turkey's on the screen, it's pure gold. It's like everything in between. It's terrible. So I probably really enjoy the kill. It's just. Everything else is like if you can cut Thanksgiving into like 20 minutes, it'd be a fucking fantastic little short. It'd be kind of
like the movie we're talking about today. That's so weird.
Yeah, sort of. Not really.
Come on,
this movie. No, because like this movie, you can. We're gonna talk. We'll get into it when you can see. What they were trying
basically,
to do. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, if you guys aren't checking out Wolfman's Twitch stream, you need to be hopping on there as well.
I do have some bit of news. I am attempting to make a Facebook account right now for my streaming. Hot news. God. I was doing this. I was literally doing this before we got on here. That's one of the things I got caught up in. I didn't realize how much time went by. So there is going to be a Silver Bullet streaming on Facebook that isn't just like my regular name with the background. So I'm going to actually try to stream on Facebook itself.
And actually have a page associated with your stream account.
Yes. Yeah. So no one has to go over, so no one has to go over to Twitch if they don't use Twitch already. They can still stay on Facebook, considering the majority of our fans are on Facebook itself.
Yeah.
This is a way we could just redirect people over to my page, considering Facebook wouldn't let us stream directly from the Serial Killers account because it's a podcast network, I think, and not a gaming network. There was something. It could just be us. We could just be dumb and not know how to do it because we're still new to a lot of this stuff. But I just figured, fuck it, let me try to make a Facebook account to make everything easier. So hopefully, within a week or two, I mean, I'm sure I'll do a few test streams here and there, but I got to try to get the website up. Just finding time for all this stuff. It is time consuming.
Oh yeah.
So.
But what's cool about the Facebook thing is, like, if people aren't familiar with Twitch,
exactly,
you don't have to be on your desktop computer for Facebook or Twitch. You can watch Twitch on your phone as well. But if you're already on Facebook on your phone, you could easily just click on the page and then boom, you're at the live stream. You can live chat. I mean,
Twitch has an app. It's really easy. You just click on the app and boom, everything's like right there. But
look how many people already have Facebook on their phone, though.
Yeah, more people have Facebook on their phone than they do Twitch, obviously. Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they're going to open up Facebook and check out what's going on, it'll be right there. They can check it out.
Honestly, the majority of Twitch streamers are also on their phone. I mean, the viewers are on their phone, though, believe it or not. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah. You think they'd be more computer-based, but the majority are just phone watchers.
Wow, that's so weird. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, I forget the number. I read something. I don't know how true it is, but it was something about 60%. Or mobile users. Yeah. So. Yeah,
I would have never thought it was that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how true it is. It just could be hearsay. Could be someone just pulling stats out of their ass.
But it sounds realistic with how. I mean, if they have an
app, the way the world is, everyone's mobile.
Yeah, if people don't have to go on their Safari and check out video that way, like if they have an app and just open and search, I can see that, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what as big as mobile gaming's becoming, even though it's a travesty, but
it's pay as you play.
No, just mobile gaming in general, like big companies like, Call of Duty's on mobile now.
Oh, yeah.
PUBG, games like, Fortnite, all that stuff's on mobile. Those are like the big games that everyone plays except for me usually.
But it's not the same though.
I know. Well, they make controllers that people hook up these little devices that you literally hold a controller and your phone screen's right above the controller. So kind of like, why aren't you just playing a console at this point in time?
Now wait, let me tell you something. When I had an Android phone, I actually did have emulator, and it played on my phone, and I actually got a controller that hooked up to the phone. It was like $10, and I could play my Super Nintendo games. Like, I'd be out and about and be like, oh, you know what? I'm waiting, for my car to get out of the garage. I'd sit there and just play some Super Nintendo and actually have a controller.
Yo, Holmes, go buy yourself a DS or get yourself an old Game Gear. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, it's my phone. I already have it on me. Now, unfortunately, I can't do that because Apple overlords.
But you're wearing down your phone battery when you shouldn't have to be. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't worried about that shit, man.
All right. I think that's all the news. I mean, just the usual streaming, trying to stream at least.
Yeah.
Still got Doom running. Still want to do some other things.
Anything coming out here in the near future that you're looking at?
I'm looking at, but I'm not going to get only because I didn't play Resident Evil 2 remake, so Resident Evil 3 remake is coming out soon. Unfortunately, there is a new Predator game that just came out. That if I had money, maybe I would get it. I would. I mean, it sucks because I had the idea for the game. I pitched it to the company. I'm not saying they made it because of me, but I did pitch it before it was even a thing, and then all of a sudden they made the game and they didn't even say thank you.
Did you save that email?
Bitches. No, it's on Facebook actually. It was through a Facebook comment. So I could probably go find it.
Yeah, you got to go find it.
And the funny part is I got murdered for the comment by the people like on Facebook. Because the company that made the Friday the 13th game made the Predator game.
Okay.
So like I'm like, "Oh, hey, since, you're it was right when the alpha release was done, so they made it." And I'm like, "Oh, this is fun. Like if they can do this, they could do a Predator game. Like you should make a Predator game where it's like 4 soldiers or 5 soldiers." I was thinking more like the original, try to get like the likeness for Arnold and stuff, because they got Friday the 13th. Why not?
Carl Weathers and
Carl Weathers, Billy, like Mac, all those guys, Jesse Bonaventura, like and whatnot. But that didn't happen. It's just like regular dudes, and you're fighting to do all these little missions and whatnot. Like to try, and then you extract to the chopper when you're done. But meanwhile, the Predator's hunting you. So like one person controls the Predator, and then you have your 4-person squad that you're trying to do the missions, and you have to fight all these NPCs, basically just AI bots.
Sure.
And also the Predator at the same time, and the Predator has to fight them too. You know what I mean? Because like it's kind of like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th, where
exactly
survival. Yeah.
But with Predator.
Yeah, but we're Predator. Yes.
I think it sounds great, and
It
I think
could
you
be.
need
I've seen
to be
some
getting
footage.
your cut for that idea.
I saw some like some footage of it, and it looks good, but it's only on PS4 and Epic Game Store right now, and Epic Game Store. So people kind of hate on Epic Game Store for it's a whole political thing. I mean, Epic Game Store kind of sucks, but everyone wants to use Steam. Everyone use, you know what I mean? No one wants to change, and everyone and their mother's trying to have their own little game store now because they want to keep all their profits. But the problem is Steam store is so good with the chat and the gameplay and this and that and making friends. They're established, and then you get all these, like, Epic Game Store barely has friends. They don't save your games like in the cloud. So if like you get a new hard drive or whatever like that, you lose your saves. Like Bethesda that does Doom, they have it through Steam, but you can get it through Bethesda, which I did, and unfortunately I can't add any friends because Bethesda doesn't have the option of adding friends, so I can't play the multiplayer with my friends.
What?
Yeah, they don't have a for Fallout 76 when that game came out. If you know anything about, they had an in-game friend add, but they don't have one for the actual launcher itself. So like all your friends can see like what games you're playing or whatever. They dropped the ball. Rockstar has their own launcher now. EA's always had. It was like Steam and EA. So Steam has a launcher called Origin. So they were like the two. And then Ubisoft had their own. They do like the Splinter Cell games and Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. But some of those games are available elsewhere also, but they had their own launcher that they did through them. And then there was another company that did like older games and non-DRM games, which means you don't have to be connected to the internet to play them, because a lot of games now you have to have an internet connection.
Right, regardless if you're playing with anyone else.
Yeah, they just want. So then, like I said, everyone and their mother started doing their launchers, and it's just became the hassle now. So I don't know how popular their game's going to be. I feel like they dropped the ball by not releasing everywhere. Hopefully it's just a time thing and other places get it, but I don't see the Predator game lasting very long if it's only on Epic and PS4. So that's another reason why I won't pay for it.
And that's the one main thing. It's like they think, okay, well, if our game's good enough, we'll get these we'll get them a whole bunch of customers, and then we'll keep making games. The thing is, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. You have to have a masterpiece of a game. Like if Fortnite wasn't for free, it would have never blew up the way it did. The fact that it was free in the beginning, I think it's still free right now.
It is. It's always been free. Well,
right.
The original game was terrible. You had to pay for it. It wasn't that good. It wasn't selling. So, and it really sucked too that Fortnite blew up the way it did, because they didn't make Unreal Tournament a new Unreal game because of it. Like they were in the middle of making Unreal Tournament, a new one, which is like an arena shooter similar to like Doom's multiplayer.
It would have been 5, right?
I don't know they didn't have a number on it, and the community put in like 5,000 hours worth of like making stuff for the developer. So all they had to do was like plug and play basically. Yeah. I just saw a video on it. It was ridiculous. But then Fortnite, they made the little battle royale with the Fortnite universe to kind of save the game and put it out for free, and you just pay for the weapon skins and character skins. Way too much money, and people's parents' credit cards, like all sorts of issues with that. It's ridiculous. They had lawsuits up the ass of little kids just stealing their parents' credit cards and spending $20 a pop on these weapon skins and character skins. Yep. Anyway, but because of that game got dropped. So it sucks that the world never got that game, because they literally, all they had to do is do a little bit of coding, and literally the community could have finished it, and it could have been a game out for free. You know what I mean? People were doing, and then Bethesda kind of failed with Quake also. They're not making a new Quake game, and then they didn't put the usual multiplayer in Doom the way they normally do. So we're suffering because some people that like arena shooters, they're not really popular right now. It's like these Fortnite type games, Apex Legends, that are all popular, but some of us don't want to play them. Even if they only had 5 or 10,000 people playing them at a time, they still would have sold 100 or 200, maybe even a couple million copies of the game where these other games are selling like 30 million copies. You know what I mean? They still would have made money, but they're trying to hit that 30 million dollar cop, and it's just stupid. If you make a quality
they want to
game,
make it worth it for the company so they can continue to make games for them that are selling
what I'm saying, like if they sold like 1 or 2 million copies and had 50,000 people still playing the game on a regular, like they can still make a ton of money. They're just being greedy,
right?
And not like helping everyone. They're trying to hit the home run ball every single time, but it doesn't always work that way. Is what I'm getting.
Right, and even like now you got games that are changing their format, like the Call of Duty 4 Black Ops 4, the newest one that came out. Their whole selling point was...
That's not the newest one that came out. They have Call of Duty Warzone now. You're behind.
Oh, see, that's how much I don't give a shit about Call of Duty anymore.
Well, they had the Black Ops with the Battle Royale and the zombies. That's what I was getting. But now there's Call of Duty Warzone. It's free to play, and it's a Battle Royale.
I'm talking about the yearly releases that Call of Duty does.
No, this is the new release. This is like this is what came out.
Right, but that's a free to download and play game. Call of Duty is still going to have another release come this November, October.
But I'm saying, no, this was the next release, so I don't know how long. Like, I don't know if it's going to be this October is the next one that's going to come out, is what I'm saying.
So you think that they're just going to do the format of just releasing their games for free now? Because Call of Duty was falling off.
It depends on how much money they're making with this. They might just be releasing maps and whatnot and skins just like
God, I don't want video games to go down that road though.
Just like Fortnite and Apex Legends, because they're the more popular ones, and that's what they do. All the maps come out for free. They have new seasons where they change it's like one map. Every X amount of months they change the season, the map gets restructured a little bit, and they just release skins like every week, and it's just like $20 a pop.
Yep.
And people are paying hundreds of dollars a year on these games instead of just one $60 purchase or $30 purchase, depending on if you got it on sale or whatever.
Or if you're a console gamer and you're paying $60 a year for your Xbox Live or your PlayStation Live, whatever. But still, $60 a year for that, and then the couple games that you get a year, 5-6 games, you spend maybe $300 just in the games and your online play, and that's it. Now, there's extra downloadables that you can buy, extra map packs and stuff like that. But when companies are releasing stuff every week at $20 a pop, you could be spending upwards of $1,000 in a year playing a game like that. That blows my
ridiculous.
mind.
Yeah, I had a friend that had to limit himself because of how he spent in 2 years. He spent like $700 on just
one game
on skins. No, for a couple different ones, but like. And Madden and basketball and Fortnite and something else, just $20 pop, opening like random packs. Some of the stuff you don't even know what you're getting. You're just buying. It's like
those random mystery boxes.
It's gambling, basically. It's actually illegal in some countries now. They're slowly, because they're saying they're trying to get kids hooked on gambling.
Absolutely.
Because there's no odds listed, right? And like some of the odds are like 0.0000001%, and that's like the main thing they're advertising. You know what I mean? Like it's.
And the thing is, it's like you're getting something. Sometimes it doesn't even affect your gameplay or character. It's like, oh, I'm the only one who has a magenta gun.
Yeah, well.
Great. Does it hold more ammo? No.
They don't.
Is it more accurate?
On
no.
console and PC, they don't really make pay to win anymore. You're not going to be able to buy stuff too much that's going to affect your game because they get so much heat about it. It's just skins and other bullshit.
Right.
I think the last game that tried to do that was Breakpoint. It was that Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I think they had some pay to win stuff, and Star Wars 2, the new Battlefront that came out.
No, I know which one. Yeah.
Yeah, but they changed that. That's out of it. And then Breakpoint, I think, did it, but I don't know if they kept it in there. But that was about like 8 months ago or so. But there was no games really. There was a good chunk of distance before that. Now you're going to get that type of shit on mobile and still.
Absolutely.
Candy Crush and all that other shit where it's, basically the more you pay, the more you can play it. But
not
on consoles anymore. People are at least fed up with that.
Good. They should have put their foot down long ago.
Yeah. All right, so now we got our completely random podcast done from Grindhouse style.
Well, that's what we were talking about. This is the stuff that we talk about before we start to record. And I think when people like, they don't just want, they want to hear us talk about the horror movies or the movies that we're covering and stuff, but like they care about our personalities enough that they want to hear us actually talk about other stuff too, and that's cool. I mean, we're not going to make an entire podcast just based on us ranting and raving about stuff.
But we ranted and raved and got the news in for about an hour now.
Yeah. So, this movie, I did say earlier, got me hyped. Decent action whenever there actually is action. It is from a company that I feel the people who know about this company are divided. You either love it or you hate it. And I don't think that's fair because the stuff that I love from this company, I really enjoy, and the stuff that I hate from this company, I thoroughly hate.
Well, I kind of feel like everyone likes at least like one movie they've made in one way or another. And then they may hate everything else, but I feel like if people watched more of their movies, there'd be at least one that everyone likes somewhere.
Absolutely. And not just one that they made, but also distributed.
Yeah.
And basically, if you were to get one of those, like, you know the movie Rad from the 80s, that BMX bike jumping trick movie?
Classic.
So mix Rad with Schindler's List, and you have today's movie.
No, I would say it's more of a...
Don't you say it.
No. I was going to say it's more of like a surf documentary trying to be a real movie and then changes into Death Wish at the end.
You know... I had the exact same thought. I said, you know what? These filmmakers, they got a zoom lens and an underwater lens, and they really wanted to make a surf movie, but they were also kind of in the field of, well...
So, yeah. it's a post-apocalyptic California surf movie with wannabe Nazis, and then the movie all of a sudden takes a plot twist and turns into Death Wish with... a big black woman avenging her son's death, and it's hilarious.
So, on the count of three, let's both say the name of the movie. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Surf Ninjas. What?
Oh, you wanted to go that route? Oh, I see you did. You set me up, you son of a bitch.
You had me watch Surf Ninjas, and we're supposed to. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I watched Surf Nazis Must Die. I actually liked it. It was a little slow, but I enjoyed it. But I made it wasn't even a joke. I made the accidental. We were talking about it, and I just said Surf Ninjas, and he's like, "Yeah, completely different movie." I'm like, "Yeah, but we're gonna talk about it."
Yeah, I said, all right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about Surf Ninjas. No,
no, I mean, in all honesty. I do want to bring it up after we talk about this because
see, that was going to be the big surprise when we got to the end, but now you let the cat out of the bag so people know.
Someone called me out on it. They were like, "Isn't that Rob Schneider?" I said, "No, no." Rob Schneider's not in this.
Rob Schneider plays a doll.
Rob Schneider is a carrot. Yeah. Derp-de-dur. Rated PG-13.
If anyone knows the South Park episode we're talking about, you're awesome.
Who distributed this?
It was Troma, but it was made by a company called The Institute.
Yep.
And
Troma is the company that I was referring to just a few minutes ago. Yeah. Some people love them, some people hate them.
Troma Entertainment.
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman. Mm-hmm. You're my boy, Lloyd.
Famously made the movie The Toxic Avenger, which most people has heard of.
Yeah, it had its own video games, Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, it was all over the place.
All over the place at one point in time. I actually own that game.
We've actually brought it up. Did you have it?
I do have it. I still do.
Oh, you still do?
I have a fully boxed edition of it and everything.
Toxic Crusaders, correct? Yep. Yeah. We talked about Toxic Avenger before on this series, and we've mentioned multiple times it is something that we want to get into for like maybe a 2-part episode. We don't want to get too much into that movie, but if you haven't seen it, don't stop listening to us. But as soon as you're done, go watch that movie.
Well, Surf Nazis Must Die is on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime if you have Amazon Prime. I know you said it wasn't, you couldn't find it, but it is on mine. I don't know, maybe you typed in Surf Ninjas on accident when you did that.
Wait, did you have to pay for it on Amazon, though?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Because I found mine on Tubi, which
I know.
is Tubi.
I remember we were talking about that, and then I went back because you were like, oh, it's not on there. Let me check Tubi. And I'm like, oh, I've heard of this, but I've never went on there. And Tubi seems amazing, by the way, for anyone that hasn't heard of Tubi. Go check Tubi out.
Yes, there are commercials, like a TV show. So like every, I think 20 minutes or half hour, there's like 15 to 20 seconds worth of commercials. But they have TV shows, they have movies, they have all sorts of stuff, and it's all free. So
you want Grindhouse? Tubi is the Grindhouse channel, unless you know what you're searching for on Amazon Prime, because Amazon Prime has amazing Grindhouse selection also, and a lot of the stuff is the same, but it's harder to find.
Mine says rent SD $5.99, Amazon Prime. Buy SD $20.
There's two of them listed on there. So there's two different Surf Nazi Must Die. They're the same cover. They're the same cover. You're probably not scrolling over far enough.
Hold on,
because you'll see the little Prime. I literally watched it today.
I see it.
I literally watched it today on there. That's why I know
Googled it first because I wanted to see all the options of how to watch it. And when you Google it, the one they want you to click on is the pay one. But yeah,
you got to go Prime. You got to go in Prime and do it.
See that?
Because they used to have a lot of Troma films in there, which Tubi has a ton of the Troma films. So Toxic Avenger might be in the Amazon Prime catalog also. I'm not 100% sure, but if they have Surf Nazis Must Die, the odds are that that's going to be in there too.
And if you guys don't want to mess with any of that, the movie's also on YouTube. Just tossing it out there.
Yes. But try to go watch it on Amazon or whatever, so they just get some credit for it.
It's credit, maybe a little money, royalty, whatever. Yeah,
that movie's worth it.
They're awesome.
Yeah, there's some of those that, trust me, we'll tell you don't go fucking watch elsewhere.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
this is one of those you should watch and let them get credit.
But Lloyd Kaufman's such a likable guy. I would never recommend going on YouTube for any of it. I would recommend actually going to a site where he might make something off of it, because he's been doing this for a long time. He's been doing it, like without Hollywood backing and stuff. He's a cool guy. So definitely use the actual sites if you can.
Tis truth. All right, so this was... all right, no, go ahead. No, I'll let you.
No, I just wanted to say, because I want you to do the breakdown because you knew about this movie way before I did. You've seen it multiple times. I watched it, just before we started recording because I fell asleep the first time trying to watch it last night. And I don't want to put it in the same category as Death Wish as an action movie.
No, I'm just saying the end of the movie is just straight up. Well, we'll get into that in a second. Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, it's not an action-y. It's a revenge flick to a certain extent, but it's weird. It's like two movies. It's like they wanted to make two different types of movies and they slammed them together. And it totally doesn't make sense. It's really hard to follow a movie in a way, plot-wise.
I think the guy had an idea for two movies, but he only actually had about 20 minutes worth of each movie. And he's like, well, if I just put these together, I'll have like an hour, and then I'll just add some other bullshit scenes in there and at least stretch it to 82 minutes.
So funny you say that because, all right, so this was released in 87. It was distributed by Troma. It was made by that other company, Institute. Institute. Now, there is a unrated director's cut available that contains 10 extra minutes. I'm wondering if that's the Arrow Blu-ray release. So I wonder how much that changes the movie, because 10 minutes is a lot.
Yeah, but if it's anything like the rest of the movie, I bet it's 10 minutes of surfing with no context.
You know what? It'd probably make it a little bit better. If you're into surfing, it might make it a little better. Maybe
Dude, if I wanted to watch Endless Summer, I'd watch Endless Summer. I wanted to watch some exploitation.
Maybe there's a sweet nunchuck battle on surfboards that we're missing out on. And the only reason I say that is because the UK video was cut by 25 seconds to remove footage of nunchucks and swords during fight scenes. The cuts were waived for the 2012 Arrow release.
Jesus Christ!
Yes,
almighty.
stupid UK.
Dude, they have UK and Australia are the worst for censoring movies. You know, the absolute worst.
Germany's bad too.
Germany is bad, which is weird because if you know anything about the porn that comes out of that country, you should be ashamed of yourself. My main question is, where do you put nunchucks when you're surfing?
In your board shorts?
Well, technically.
You asked.
Yeah.
Tell you. You can strap them to a leg or an arm like you would a knife. You have like a little pouch.
I don't think that's what he did.
No, I'm saying you could. I'm just saying. Yeah, they were probably stashed in his butt crack down the back of his board shorts while he was.
I was thinking one was inserted in the butt and then one was hanging out like a tail.
And he was he was twerking and twirling his nunchuck around. That's why it was
like Sonic and Tails, and he flew off the board.
And it was that's the reason it was cut from the movies. All right, I gotcha. I see where
his little anal copter.
Well, if you're talking about that, I want to know where the guy hid his little katana, his little mini sword.
I saw that, and I thought to myself, maybe he was holding it while surfing, but that just sounds dangerous.
Well, it had a sheath over it. It wasn't like it was just like out in the open. I forget what they're called. It wasn't a katana. It was like a short dagger. There's a specific name.
There is, yeah. It's not a katana,
but it's a matching pair. Like I forget what the hell. I actually have one somewhere. I just don't even remember what it's fucking called.
You have a sword set?
No, my stepfather. I wanted one knife when I was in Florida. Yeah, Florida story. I wanted one knife. He took me to this pawn shop. He's like, "This is awesome. I know, Florida pawn shop. What could go wrong? You know." Yeah, and I'm like, there's this one awesome knife, and I wanted it. And, you know, of course, the pawn shop guy talked to my stepfather. Like, I guess he had, like, 4 other knives he couldn't get rid of. And he's like, oh, just for an extra $30, I'll give you all these. And I'm like, I don't want these. I just want this one specific knife. And next thing you know, I come home with 4 knives. Actually, one of them's like half a sword.
And your stepdad said, I need to buy his love. No, you're getting all 4, damn it.
Yeah, basically. I mean, at that point in time, I should have just upped and got something cooler in the store, you know, but.
Yeah, you should have got a Sega or something.
I was thinking more of the more deadlier variety, maybe like a battle axe or something. Like, I mean, if we're going to go that route no, like seriously, the one is like, it's literally almost 3 feet long, and it's heavy as fuck. It's like a mini broadsword.
Jesus. How old were you?
Oh, I was like 32.
Oh. I'm thinking you're like this 10-year-old kid going into a pawn shop with your stepdad. No. You're a man.
No, I was a man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was in Florida visiting my parents, like, living with my stepdad and stuff. No.
The story just got awesome.
That's why I was joking. That's why I was like saying, you know, Florida pawn shops, what can go wrong, you know? Like,
no, I totally thought you were a kid going in there. No, this is even much better because now we can actually try to recreate this movie because you actually have the weapons.
Good evening, freaks and creeps. Thanks for tuning into Grindhaus on 42nd Street. This is Gorley Girl, and I'm here with Gore's Pick of the Week. This week, Gray and Wolfman covered the Troma film, Surf Nazis Must Die. I love Troma, and my favorite film is The Toxic Avenger. However, that's not quite my pick of the week. I love cheesy storylines and low-budget films with goofy characters and homemade special effects and costumes. Films that give you that made-in-the-backyard with best friends feel. This movie may be garbage to some, but you know what they say, one man's trash is another woman's treasure. Thanksgiving is an ultimate low-budget dark horror comedy experience. With a budget of $3,500, it was distributed by Gravitas Ventures and Warner Brothers. It was released in 2008 at the Sacramento Horror Film Festival. This movie is plucking hilarious and full of foul play. Okay, so the first scene is about a minute and a half and takes place after the first Thanksgiving in 1621. You're welcomed by the setting in words, followed by a close-up of a nipple, faded out to a topless pilgrim. She is hiding from something and starts to run. Of course she trips and falls, and we come face to face with Turkey, the main course, who happens to be a demonic turkey. Centuries later, a pack of college students take a trip home for Thanksgiving break. During their travels, their vehicle breaks down in the same area of the burial grounds of Turkey. While camping for the night because of some unfortunate troubles, they talk about the folktale of Feathercloud. Feathercloud, a Native American shaman, was dishonored by a pilgrim who happens to be an ancestor of one of the college students. The shaman used necromancy to create Turkey. During the same time of this campfire tale telling, a dog out in the woods urinates on a miniature totem pole on the native burial grounds. This dog not only relieves itself on the totem, but also on Turkey, who bursts out of the ground and rages on the dog. One of the girls back at camp takes a walk to call her father, who happens to be the sheriff, and she tells him about the breakdown and not to be worried, that everyone is fine. So they think. As she finishes her call away from the group, she gets confronted by Turkey and runs back to her friends to warn them about what had just happened. They find it hard to believe, of course, but so this movie goes, with this demonic, sarcastic, silver platter farm animal wreaking havoc during this festive season. This movie is so corny with a side of mashed potatoes. The movie isn't as gory as I know it could have been, but with a budget as low as a hoopty at the used car dealership, the homemade effects made my slow-pounding heart bleed and appreciate what it is. With movie lines like, "I'm gonna drink your blood like cranberry sauce, baby," "nice tits, bitch," and "gobble gobble, motherfucker," what's not to love? I hope you've enjoyed Gore's Pick of the Week. Stay tuned to the Grindhaus on 42nd Street for more of the gore.
Yeah, I mean, I might hurt someone. That fucking thing's it's like packed away. I mean, the shit that's a fan, it's coming out. It's getting sharpened.
Oh yeah,
a whetstone.
I'll bring the bum chucks.
Bring the bum chucks. I seriously think we could remake this movie and probably do a better job.
Because it'd only be 18 minutes long.
No, we'd make it full length because I could improve a lot in this movie, I think. No, but in all honesty, they couldn't have spent more than fucking $20,000 on this movie, if that. They had a lot of props, so.
Well, yeah, but is there an actual budget that we can find online?
No,
anywhere?
I looked, I searched, I couldn't find it unless you want to do a little deeper search while we're talking. I don't know. But
well, where I usually look, it's not there. So
yeah, no,
I could dig around.
It wasn't IMDb. It wasn't on the Wikipedia. I searched literally "Surf Nazi Must Die" budget. I didn't see anything like just pop. You know what I mean? Maybe something's hidden.
Yeah,
I didn't see anything.
Well, why don't you go ahead and set the scene while I do a little?
Well, you gotta figure the surfboards cost a little bit of money. Even like the cheapest surfboard's not that cheap. You know what I mean? There was a lot of surfboards used in this movie. A couple of them were broken.
Yeah.
You know, they had the van, the couple motorcycles, whether they were someone's or whatever, they still had to rent them of some sort.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Location scouting.
Locations, even though a lot of it looked like it might have been guerrilla filmed because there were just like random people everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they still had to pay for some permitting elsewhere. They had to rent the cameras. It was filmed on 35mm film, so we know that's not cheap.
Yeah, that's weird. It seems like they really tried to make an actual action. Look, I'm not saying Troma doesn't make real movies. I'm not saying that.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they just release the craziest nut job, insane movie you can think of. But every now and then they try to make a real movie.
Right. And this feels like one of those times where they were actually really trying to, make something. Yeah. But the plot is weird and the pacing is weird. And like, there's so much weird stuff about this. Actually, I did read a review and I'm only going to read the beginning where it says Surf Nazis Must Die review. Too good to be Troma.
I don't know what he was watching.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously,
right?
it wasn't Troma, but
No, they released it, and I think that's why I was like, oh well, this should have been anything but no. In all honesty, it is a goofy movie a little bit. It takes itself seriously, but just think, surf Nazis must die. Who else would release that?
I got lied to because the cover is a guy surfing with a MP40.
Yeah, that
never
happened.
Little grease gun, and that never happened. So I got a little bit lied to by that. So I was a little disappointed. Lying box cover.
Oh boy, that's a whole episode.
Yeah. Lying box covers. Start a class action lawsuit for lying box covers.
Yeah, but look how many times we used to go in the video stores when we were kids, and we would see like a brutal looking cover, and we would rent it, and it would be shit.
It's not even movies. The best covers were fucking Nintendo games and Genesis
oh my god,
games.
dude! Mega Man 1,
and then you bring that shit home, and you're like, "What the hell was this?"
Yeah, don't even get me.
Yeah, that's a whole nother video. We should actually do that video. We should go over all the greatest box covers and talk about how shitty the games were. We should do that.
Or
just
all
for
the
fun.
Or all the shitty box covers that had great games in it, so people never really knew about it.
Maybe it's a two-parter.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe we'll release that for the Patreon people.
There you go. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Give them something extra, because we are still working on that.
We're still trying to do that. All right, so just like here's a review that it's a short review that I liked. So basically, this person said this film unshamelessly attempts to replicate Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange, which I can see because like one of the characters actually looks like one of the guys from the movie, and is also similar to other youth gang movies such as Romper Stomper and Suburbia. The issues of radical politics, racism, delusional youth, vengeance, and gang violence are all addressed. But there is nothing original about this film. There is excellent cinematography and an interesting synth score, which seems appropriate, and the story.
I was going to say that
the story focuses around the surf Nazis, the dominant surfer gang in California, and they kill young African American. Things go wrong, and the gang then becomes victims to the mother's revenge, and she seeks blood. So that basically, I mean, there was more to it, but that's just kind of like the summed up version, and I agree because this is it starts out as a gang movie. You almost get, like you said, you get this weird Stanley Kubrick. It seems like they really were influenced by that, by the way they filmed the movie and tried to make it. But the problem is they didn't have the actors and the script to pull it off.
And they weren't Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did a good job with the synth score. I thought it was appropriate for as cheap and shitty as it was. It actually fit and was kind of cool and made some of the scenes very tension filmed when they didn't need to be, which made it funny. I actually got a kick out of that.
Oh yeah, I have a timestamp ready.
I had a fun time with the score in this. I'm like, all right, these dudes just pulled up in a car and they're literally just driving up, and they're not driving anything fancy, and this score makes it seem like they're going to war, like or something, something bad is going to happen, and they're going to get blown up as soon as they walk through, and nothing happens. But it was just, they made it so intense with the score, it left you hanging. You're like, I'm on the edge of my seat. What's going to happen? Nothing.
So anything that you hear out of like the Casio B20 is definitely out of the 80s. And there's a lot of it in this movie. And some people might not like that kind of stuff, but I love that synth film movie. Now, like actual synth music from the 80s,
agreed.
Like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, I'm not listening to that
Terrible.
shit. Yeah. But like in movies, it's fitting because it sets the scene, it sets the
movies
time.
Movies and video games from the
yes,
80s.
But there's a little bit of an issue because there is some actual instrumentation in this movie. One part is a surfing part, and they have an over distorted guitar.
Oh. I thought you were going to talk about the clarinet.
Wait.
Right.
So they have an over-distorted guitar that it sounds like it's actually being ran through a MIDI 8-bit mixer. So it's a mix between an electronic distorted guitar and like a Nintendo sound. And it sounds awful. And the next part is actually, I'm going to go give you the timestamp, 26 minutes, 34 seconds into this movie, there is a sex scene between the lead gang member and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I just want to play a quick 10-second soundbite of this. It's actually, I think it's a tenor saxophone. But you be the judge and tell me if this
it's a clarinet. I don't even think they had the money for a fucking saxophone. I literally think it's a person on a clarinet going off, and it's fucking hilarious.
Whatever the brass or woodwind instrument is, it sounds like they stuck it between their butt cheeks and then just forced out what they could. Here's just a little sample.
It's no Kenny G.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, hold on. Here, listen, hold on.
Where's our sound clip, Gray?
And that was it. Yeah, you didn't hear it because you're on the other end. I have it going through my mixing board. But when I actually mix this, you'll hear it. Do you want to hear it? Because I can play it for you.
No. I actually thought everyone was going to hear it.
Oh, no, they are gone. Everyone is going to hear it.
I meant like... I thought you were just going to play it. Yeah, I thought you were going to play it and we were going to let... But it's okay. We don't... I know what it sounds like.
Here's the thing.
Awful. It's god awful.
Here's the thing. Wait. I will cut this. No, you know what? No, we're going in raw. We're going in raw. Okay? Check this out.
I heard it for a split second and it went away.
It literally sounds like a mix between like a whoopee cushion held up to the mouthpiece of a fucking instrument. You know?
I don't know. I think you cut out on my end for that whole part, so I didn't hear anything you said.
I held it up to my vocal mic and not my talking mic, like my microphone that we talk on.
Yeah. It's okay.
Whatever. We'll when it's finished, you'll hear it.
They'll hear it. They'll hear the horribleness of it, and they'll make their own judgment.
But you know what we should do? We should just do 3 quick seconds of canned laughter, and we'll just do a cut and edit. 1, 2, 3. The Chinese.
Yeah.
So where were we?
The Chinese at the end of that.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's totally out of context. Listen, guys, we're off the record today.
All right, so like I said, it starts out as like a gang movie. They really want to press the issue of dystopia California, I guess you want to call it, because there was a huge earthquake. It kind of all of California is completely fucked. There's no law enforcement, no fire. Like even though you look at it, people are still hanging out on the beach. I'm trying to how to explain it, but like, so it's like a lawless anarchy California, but yet it seems like nothing's out of place. Even though they showed a bunch of montages of buildings burning and whatnot. Obviously, it boils down the budget and whatnot, but.
The nursing home is still open.
Yeah.
The bar is open.
Yeah.
The pawn shop's open, but supposedly there's no EMS or firefighters or cops.
Yeah, none of that's available. So now the gangs are running wild. So now you have a bunch of gangs. So now you have the surf Nazis, which it opens up with, and they have the surf Nazi youth group. So they're teaching them about who rules the beaches, the surfers. Who rules the surfers? The surf Nazis, and like all these little kids have swastikas painted like all over their faces and their clothing. It's kind of hilarious. Like that one little girl's like super excited to yell surf Nazis. It's just kind of hilarious.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but like the swastika was around before Adolf Hitler used it for the Nazis. And he ruined it because I think it was actually neat little symbol.
It also faces the other direction.
The original,
the original, he which is actually a funny thing of the movie because none of the simple. Obviously, there's only a couple ways to face it, but they constantly flip flopped in this movie. They don't have them going the same way. I think that was kind of a joke throughout, and they also changed it. They changed it a tiny bit, so you have the usual little S's, I guess you want to call it, you know what I mean? Like
your lightning bolt S's.
Yeah, sort of going not like the lightning bolt S's like the SS, but like the swastika symbol. And then they put little dashes on them.
Yeah,
even,
or
going over. So they changed the sign just a little bit so you can get away with it. Like,
yeah. Or they had like the little blood dripping off one of the symbols, so it kind of looked a little different than what it would be.
Well, no. Well, if you look at the regular symbols, it was supposed to be there. So the one where you see the bloody one and dripping off, that's supposed to be there. It's not just blood dripping down.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's actually designed like that.
Yeah. So the surf Nazis. So there's Adolf, Ava, and Mengele are like the three heads. And then you have Hook, Brutus, and Smeg. Smeg is just like young kid that kind of has really no point in the movie whatsoever. I don't even know why he's there. Like him and his mom, I don't really get. Maybe you can fill it in, but Adolf, Ava, and Mengele are obvious references to Adolf Hitler, Eva Braun, and Joseph Mengele. Obviously, most people know who Hitler and Ava are, but if you know who Joseph Mengele was, he was the Nazi doctor, infamous for his experiments on concentration camp inmates, and he received the nickname the Angel of Death due to his all-white clothing. So in case anyone didn't know.
And it's crazy because Mengele, like Joseph Goebbels was in charge of propaganda, but Mengele was actually like, it's all right. So if it wasn't for Hitler, maybe all the shit wouldn't have happened. So yeah, he is like the top dog. He is the worst. But like, there's two people who actually committed the atrocities. You know, yes, Hitler gave the okay. I want this done. I want them dead. But like all the sick and twisted and fucked up stuff was Heinrich Himmler and Mengele. Those two guys were the ones who were doing all the crazy experiments with twins.
They were the worst. Yeah, they were the worst.
They were awful. And it's funny because in the movie they actually get into an argument later on, and I think he meant to say, I am the angel of death, but he just said, I am the angel. And I was like, is he going to say it? And then it cut to the next scene. So I was like, okay, maybe he just...
Yeah, a couple times he was also like something along the lines like, I am Mengele, you know, like trying to be... like, you know, they were obviously meant other... Like, you know, they're trying to tie it to the other character, like in real life.
Yeah.
But it just didn't come off like that unless you really knew who he was. The way he did it, because he was also like the inventor guy, because he was a little extra crazy compared to the other guys. You can tell like in the way they did his dialogue and his scenes, like he was a little more off than all the other characters.
I mean, comparatively, maybe that's how he got the name, like Mengele, you know, but because of the experimentations he did and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was a little off in the movie. I actually think he was probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. For line delivery and his scenes.
I don't know. I didn't. Yeah, no. I mean, I can see why you would like him. I didn't really care for. I didn't really care for any of the surf Nazis, so to speak. So then you had Hook, Brutus, and we talked about Smeg. I don't like, but Hook was just a joke at, you know, like a Captain Hook or pirate, because he had this hook hand. It was pretty terribly done.
Yeah,
he had multiple hands throughout, but it was just really. It was really, really bad. And then Brutus was like I'm so cool, I'm not cool, but I'm cool guy. If that makes any sense. He was the one with the spear gun. He walked around with his shirt off a lot, and then he had like I think he had a trench coat at one point in time, like a duster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He it's weird because on the cover you have the guy with the hook hand. And he's like not even like a secondary character. He's like a third character. You know what I mean?
He's a henchman. He's a henchman.
Yeah.
He's hired muscle. Yeah.
That would be like the cover of Austin Powers having that Asian guy who threw the shoe on the cover of the movie. Yeah. Like seriously.
So then the next gang, we had the Pipeliners. It was Ariel, Mex, and Teeth. I don't even remember them using Ariel and Teeth's names. They might have, but I remember them using Mex a couple times because he was like kind of the leader of the Pipeliners, and they were just they were supposed to be your sewer dwelling punk rockers that surfed. That, you know, like they were just like the drinking beer. They were like the equivalent to human versions of Ninja Turtles without being Ninja Turtles, I think.
Yeah, they were actually like the surfers.
Well, no. Those are the designer waves. Those are the hippie surfer guys. These are guys.
See, I barely saw them though. Like
yeah, they were in there more. I'm going to get to them in a second. No, these are the guys. They were the ones at the end.
Yeah, the three of them.
The final fight at the like with the gang wise.
Right. They were, like I know there's multiple gangs in this movie.
They had the green ripped up t-shirt. They had the green with the green sludgy kind of shit looking on them. They were supposed to be from like the sewers and whatnot. They were
the main guy kind of had like an 80s style mullet and he had a mustache.
He's the guy that yelled with the line.
Yes, that's all. Yeah. I feel like there's only 3 real gangs in this movie, and all the other ones are just
there's technically what? All right, so there's
6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, technically 6, but 4 of them are like in
prominent.
The movies more. Yeah, and the other 2 were just kind of like you see them a couple times.
Yeah, so they exist.
But only the 3 of them though were really like in the movie. The 4th one just kind of has like the final battle and like 1 or 2 other scenes, like, and that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Pipeliners are like the next main gang, and then you had the Samurai Surfers, which is the guy with the bum chucks and the little sword, and that was Wang, Yin, and Yang. Obviously, they're doing these names as like a joke.
Yeah, or just
yeah,
they're terribly stereotypically racist without knowing.
Yeah, no, I mean they're legit names. It's just
no, they are.
No, because you had Ariel, Mex, and Teeth, and then you had the other guy. And then we'll get like so. Then you had the designer waves. They were these like hippie surfers. They actually called them Jesus weirdos at one point in time, but I don't think they were. I guess because they had the long hair, like the long hair. They were almost
they're like hippies.
Yeah, a couple of them were actually kind of like bro dudes a little bit.
Yeah,
but they were supposed to be like kind of hippie.
One of them had a big
earthy,
peace sign on the underneath of his board.
Their main names was Curl, Blow, and Dry. Like they don't know their names, but unless you watch the credits, you would have no idea about these guys. That's what's hilarious about it.
Yeah.
Then you had the bikers. They had the main guy in the bikers. His name was Wheels. And then you had the skate rats, and there's basically just a bunch of kids on skateboards and like one girl that was supposed to be like their handler or whatever. But you barely saw them in the movie. They were kind of the information pipeline. Yeah, they were the information pipeline. They knew about all the ins and outs and just skated around town, and
they were like the next generation growing up. Into the like when the gangs get old enough and they can't do it anymore, they're dead or whatever. They would be like the next wave.
It's like the skate rats, and then you had like the Hitler Youth. Basically, that was the Adolf Youth.
Yeah,
the Nazi youth gangs that were going on. So those are your gangs. Yeah, the bikers and the skate rats are basically not in the movie really at all. There's really not much. I mean, a bunch of like stupid shit happens. This movie really kind of also had a Warriors vibe to it in a way, because they had this big gang meeting, and Adolf from the Surf Nazis was trying to unite all the gangs to take over. He's like, we're doing it all wrong. There's no police. We could be making all like blah 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 blah. And then cue your favoriteness.
I actually have that synced up as well. So just give me like the 10 seconds. Hold on.
All right. So I'll get into it in a sec. So he comes in his little, everyone's already waiting for him. He comes in his little triumphant fucking motorcycle, and he's got his cape on with the little Nazi thing. It's pretty hilarious, actually.
It is.
Like a lot of it, it's like funny, but it's not supposed to be funny, but yet it's so boring. It's not as funny until you actually start talking about it. Then you start giggling about the movie. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually having more fun talking about this movie with you than I did watching it. Yeah. With the exception of the end.
And I think it's weird because, like you said, like the Warriors could have a little bit of a goofy feel sometimes with like the baseball gang and this and that. But
Don't ever talk bad about the baseball Furies, you motherfucker.
But listen,
I know,
motherfucker, that movie was set that you'd actually take it seriously.
Yeah.
This movie, it seems like they just wanted these stereotypical gangs. So they're like, oh, well, we got to have Nazis, and we got to have ninjas, obviously, and we got to have hippies and bikers. And basically,
samurais,
it's like,
not ninjas. Get them right.
Basically, it is your village people arraignment, except without, actual professions.
Yeah. Actually, a village people gang would have been hilarious.
It would have been awesome.
All right, we're going to add that to our remake of this movie.
Okay, yeah, make sure. Jot that down real quick.
A village people gang. I mean, every movie's got to have... Every movie that we have has
we're
some
George Lucas the shit out of
this. That's another joke, a running joke we have village people jokes, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it might be one of our first real T-shirts now.
Yeah.
Get Jar Jar Binks on a. Well, never mind. No, I don't want to get into that.
No, that's another T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Jar Jarcist.
There is this one scene. It's at 17 minutes 47 seconds, and
by the way, Gray, your sound is screwed up. By the way, I don't know if something's came loose. At least it is for me. I don't know if it's going to be messed up for them.
Well, no, it's not going to be messed up for them because I'm talking into the computer microphone recording, but I'm using my headphone mic.
Now it's normal again. Something was not right. It was getting
I had my recording headphones. I had them around my neck because I was trying to sync up that clip. And that
but it sounded staticky and distorted and echoey. It was all of everything.
Was it like that?
No.
Okay, yeah. I don't...
Yeah, something was good. Now it's normal again, so...
So, at 17 minutes, 47 seconds in this movie, you have this scene that we were just talking about, the gang scene, where all the gangs meet up, and you kind of see that the surf Nazis have taken over, almost like there was a gang before them that was in charge back when, like the earthquake didn't happen, and like there was still cops and this and that, because it doesn't seem like all the other gangs are really on board for having them as the leaders, but if you look around, it does look like the surf Nazis have the most members. I don't know if that's true or not.
They do, yeah. The surf Nazis definitely had way more members than anyone else.
Okay.
Which is why they were the lead gang. It seems like the other gangs really had like only a couple, like 3 guys credited, but you never really saw more than 3. With the exception of the Designer Waves, they only had 3 guys credited, but I remember seeing about 6 or 7 of them. But the surf Nazis definitely still outnumbered them if you also include the kids.
Yeah, and that's like, you don't see all of the designer ones all at the same time throughout the movie, where there's a few shots where you see most of the surf Nazis, and that's where you see like at least 6 of them all at once. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's this scene where the leader of the pipeline gang kind of has something to say against Adolf, the leader of the surf Nazis, and I just want to play this. Hold on.
All together under the sign of the swastika. Adolf, no! You couldn't handle the power.
You couldn't handle Adolf. No, you couldn't handle the power. Is the most WCW 1991 promo I've ever heard, and he is officially my favorite character.
That'd almost be like a Hogan thing to say,
or like a Ultimate Warrior.
I don't know. No, I see Hogan saying it. I see like
but he didn't say
Big Papa Pump.
Oh yeah,
like that'd be something I feel like he would say.
That man had the most incoherent promos of anyone I've ever heard.
His were second to the Ultimate Warrior, I think, in making no fucking sense, like whatsoever.
Yeah, but at least like when Warrior did it, he would get the crowd pumped. He'd shake the ropes. Big Papa Pump, especially in the later years, I don't know if the steroids leaked into his brain or something, but he would like have these like legit conversations with the camera as if it was a person. And the best is when he was in TNA. Like, yeah, the end of WCW got pretty bad, but in TNA, like he had this rant against like Samoa Joe, and he's trying to break down the odds of him winning. And he's like, well, see, it's a 3-way match, so there's a 33% chance that I'll win, but then you got to put my experience on it, so you're at 25%, which gives me 43 1/3, and he goes off for like 3 minutes. And then, like, the interview lady's like, just looking at him, and he goes, well, Samoa Joe, you're fat. Just like, what?
Well, have you ever, I'm not to break on the wrestling tangent, because I'm not the hugest wrestling fan, but I knew some odds and ends, and I watched a lot of videos. Of like older stuff. Yeah, I dabble. I like some of the older stuff. It's funny. Did you ever watch the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD?
I have it. It's awesome.
Yeah, he has some of the worst fucking promos that make no sense, but you either like, yeah, fuck yeah, or like you're like, I am now dumber by listening to this, like afterwards.
But so he would amazing. He would make up legit words, and you would have to like pause it and be like, wait a minute. Like he'd be like, So you would say like, oh, the disorientation of today's blah blah blah, but he would be like, well, I can't do a warrior voice because I'm not gonna scream and wake up my neighbors, but like the dissign in the nation and the applicable forces. It's like applicable for what the fuck are you talking about, you cokehead?
Yeah, I know. It's fucking great.
I love it. He's not as good as Sheik though.
That's a whole nother. It's like Sheik after wrestling. Yeah.
Crackhead Sheik.
Crackhead Sheik. Fuck the Randy Savage.
Fuck you.
Fuck the Chris Jericho. No offense, Marty, but Marty, you were not there, so I said fuck the Marty.
Hogan said, "Eat the vitamins." I said, "You snort those vitamins."
So when I was sending you all that stuff the other day on Facebook, I'm sorry, people, again, that we're getting off track, but I was rewatching Sheik interviews, and I had the one with Marty Jannetty about he asked Sheik to take care of this girl that Marty wanted to hook up with, and then Sheik tried to hook up with her.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear that one?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's giving her like coke and booze and whatever, and then he tried to hook up her, and she didn't want him, so he's like, then he gave her a short clothesline. He's like, yeah, so bad.
But you have to hear Sheik. Maybe
God.
We'll share that link somewhere on one of our social media accounts, because him telling that story, because he says it so nonchalantly.
No, well,
like,
Sheik's not saying it. Marty's saying it, so it's even funnier because he's doing an impression of Sheik telling the story.
Oh, I think there's a version. I haven't seen Marty tell that story. I've seen the version where where Sheik's talking about being in the hotel trying to hook up with a girl, and he was like, and everything was going good, and then all of a sudden it wasn't, so I clotheslined her. I was like, what? Just like that? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Marty Jannetty tells a story, and it's hilarious. And he tells a story about when he ratted everyone out on accident because his English is bad. So he got piss tested, and so Vince pulls him in the office, and he's like, Sheik, I got some news for you. I just want to let you know you tested positive. And he's like, all right, that's great. I tested positive. He thinks positive is good. He doesn't understand.
It's a
English
positive
that well.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, no, Sheik, it's bad. You tested, you have cocaine in your system. And he's like, I don't get it. He's like, does so-and-so have cocaine in his system? He's like, why? He's like, does this person have cocaine in the system? Does Jake the Snake have cocaine in the system? Does JD, meaning Junkyard Dog?
Junkyard, yeah.
Does, I forget, someone else, and then...
Probably Hacksaw.
It wasn't Hacksaw at the time, because it's after he got busted with Hacksaw. That's why he was getting tested.
Okay.
And whatever. And he's like, I don't get it. Did they all have it in the system? Because they were all with me.
It's like
he ratted out like 5 dudes without realizing it. Just so funny.
Yeah, but you know what, though? If he ever ratted out Hogan, nothing would have happened. So, the job squad, basically.
Nothing did happen to Hogan with all the steroid abuse and the trials.
Yep.
Anyway. All right, so back to the movie. So we had the meeting.
Yep.
Nothing. You expect something to happen. Nothing really happens. They fire like that harpoon at the dude's board after he says what he did, and then everyone
can't handle the power.
Yeah, and then they go on, kind of like, so the gangs are all surfing in the Nazi territory, and they used to like kind of surf wherever. Now the Nazis don't want anyone surfing there, so they kind of beat up a couple of the guys. Whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing real exciting. And
it seemed like all the other gangs had their own designated areas.
Yeah, it was their own areas of the beach, but they used to surf kind of in the same spots,
right?
Somewhat, and then now the Nazis didn't want that anymore. They wanted to take over everything. But then randomly, we had the black lady who she's just called Mama in the movie, but I'm calling her Big Bad Mama because it sounds better.
Yeah,
She's got to be like 60 years old,
probably,
maybe
late
a little
50s,
younger,
early 60s.
Late 50s, and she's just this big, lovingly looking, heavy-set black woman that stereotypical like
Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, she just she would shower you with hugs and kisses and be the greatest grandma ever, or mom. You know what I mean? Like she's just that kind of She has her son Leroy, who's like the goody two shoe guy at the beach. Yeah, he's a good son. He tries to help people, and then he gets killed by the surf Nazis. But meanwhile,
what I love though is when they set up the mama, they're putting her. It looks like they're putting her in like some kind of like retirement home or something. And she,
well, it is retirement
yeah, but
home.
she has like a lot of piss and vinegar left in her yet. Yeah. So like when she first gets in there,
to her son, yeah.
Oh yeah, but even before that, like the nurse is like, "Oh, your son dropped off these cards, but remember, there's no gambling." And like the next scene, she's got 3 other old ladies sitting at the table. She got a Black and Mild in her mouth. She's like, "All right, we're playing 5-card stud here."
Yeah. Well, yeah. She smokes a lot of cigars in this. She smokes a couple times in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They try to play up her character as being like the badass because they had all that gang stuff, but it never really goes anywhere. Until like you get the final gang scene, but then they cut over to her at the nursing home, and there's a couple scenes where they catch the nursing home people, like they talk about how they just like slip tranquilizers in their food and the coffee and stuff to keep them to keep them calm or whatever.
Percodan,
which I think was I think that was like a legit thing they did like back in the day. I mean, I'm sure some places probably still get away with it, but
yeah, they still do.
But to kind of just make them easier to deal with. It was just a fucked up thing in general.
Yeah, but it happens.
So, but she won't do it, so she's all extra full of piss and vinegar. Like, I mean, when they walked her up the first time, the lady's like talking to her like she's deaf and like super old, but this lady's like full of life still. It's just, I guess she just couldn't be living on her. I don't know. Who knows what go. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's part of the story. It doesn't really need to necessarily be there, but it has.
No, it absolutely needs to be there.
No, I'm saying. It makes it funny, but like there's no, besides making it funny, there's no need for it to be there. Like it doesn't play any importance to overall the movie. But then again, look what we're talking about. Look, you know what I mean? Movie we're talking about.
That's the thing. So. In this movie, it's like in any other movie, it really like wouldn't matter. But like with this movie, and that's why I kind of said earlier, it feels like someone had an idea for 2 different movies, but he only had like 20 minutes worth, and then he just threw them together, and we have this.
And they still cut 10 minutes out.
They did. That's crazy. And you know what, dude? Like
the movie was 88 minutes long, I think it was. And
there was a scene that we didn't talk about earlier because it's like literally it's nothing, but it's hilarious because you remember the first scene where it's nighttime and the surf Nazis are on the beach with the campfire?
Yeah.
So they're talking about, what's going to go on with the meeting the next day. And, Mengele says something like snide to Ava. And then she has a response. And then she starts to laugh. And then this is the most Austin Powers Dr. Evil laugh. Like the entire group starts to laugh, like fake laugh. But they're trying to act real. And it goes on like uncomfortably long. Hold on 1 second. I have it pulled up. I just want to hold on.
RSVP in blood for all those who don't show.
It is still going.
Well, her whole character in general is just cringe. Like she really was.
Dude, she was my
terrible.
Least favorite part.
Yeah. I mean, you see her boobs in this one scene where she has sex with Adolf on the beach briefly, and they're okay. They're not anything to go right home about. I mean,
they're a C plus.
I would give them like maybe a B at most. Yeah,
I would give them a B if there was more of them in the film. Probably,
no, I'm just saying like at most, they're a C plus, maybe B at most, depend. But I don't think anyone would ever rate them. And I'm saying I don't think anyone would ever rate them any higher. Like there's like,
no,
that's all.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think even the most lenient person.
Yeah, they are definitely your middle of the road titties.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of it's like just her character. Maybe she was dolled up better and not looking like the way she did, and just have that annoying laugh, and not like they tried to make her like sexy evil, but they really did a bad job doing it.
They made her awkward evil. Yeah, awkward evil.
She just like she actually when you first see her in the beginning of the movie and she gets on this motorcycle with this guy, she almost looks like she's gonna be like a big heavyset white trash lady, but then she ends up being skinny. Like she just ends up looking like really shitty, and then she just kind of like you see her later and she's skinny, but she still looks shitty. Like I don't know, it's hard to.
She looks worn.
Yeah, just something about her. It's just it's just bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, they show a couple scenes in the nursing home. It kind of sets up the mother's character. Her son gets killed, so now she wants to seek revenge.
He gets killed by the surf Nazis trying to defend somebody.
Yeah, well, he defended a old lady's purse, grabbed it back from this little Nazi youth kid, and then Adolf comes over and is very racist to him and kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And fucked up about him afterwards.
And Leroy actually put him on the ground, and when Leroy kind of saw I actually thought this was filmed very well. Shot that
I was going to get into
right.
This. Yep.
Yeah, it has no right being in a movie like this.
Not at all. You see the reflection of his two homeboys coming up
in his sunglasses.
It's awesome. It's a good shot.
Do you know how hard that is? I mean, dude, there's scenes in this movie where the boom mic you can fucking see in the top of the frame, and they're doing this weird Inception type of shot. Well,
that's what I'm saying. There is some really good stuff that's shot. Like that guy wasn't wrong when he said there's some really good cinematography in here.
Yeah,
that's with a better script and a better budget, and who knows what's in that 10 minutes. Maybe some of this makes more sense. It does feel like it was sloppily edited, that a lot of shit was just kind of...
It does.
Just randomly thrown together. I understand you film things out of order and you put things together, because they definitely show some stuff in the beginning and then they show some stuff later on. It's supposed to be later on, but you could tell it's literally an extended part of the beginning scene. There's a scene of them on the beach. It's reused, but just extended. And you're like, I literally just saw this, but it's supposed to be... a week later or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's supposed to be new footage or something.
Yeah. But it's literally just an extended version of those. They just kind of reused it, and it's kind of shitty.
And a lot of cheap budget movies do that trick where they might mirror image a scene and make it look different because it's backwards, or they might slow it down, or they might change. You know what I mean? And literally, it's the same scene, and sometimes they'll even put it in a movie 3 or 4 times. And it blows my mind because we're talking about stuff that was cut out of the movie and then stuff that was reused. Well, there's an entire scene in the biker bar that leads nowhere.
Yeah.
God, damn it.
It was an important scene because she went in to collect money because they're doing drug deals and they're basically muling and selling for the Nazis, and they had to pay up their money, and then it was important, but there's none of that else in the movie. You know what I mean? It's important to show character
development,
and maybe if there's some other scenes of them selling and doing stuff, it would make more sense. But that's why the scene doesn't go anywhere. That's what I mean. It's important, but ended up not being important because they didn't go anywhere with the biker gang, really.
You literally don't see the biker gang after this scene.
No, they were at the meeting. You see Wheels. You think Wheels is going to be more of a main character. Then he comes in with the money at the scene in the biker gang. A little hangout. You see some more boobies.
Yep.
So anyone that's keeping track of how many boobs, but that's the rest of them for the
Those
movie.
ones are
usually Troma. Usually Troma movies have tons of boobs in them. That's why we're bringing.
Yeah, and those ones are definitely a B+.
I don't know. I would kind of rate them about the same as the other one. Personal taste.
Personal taste. Different strokes, different folks.
The boobs were attached to someone just as ugly and gross. So
no, I'm not rating the boobs comparative to the woman. But
I have a hard time separating the two, which is why I'm saying.
I thought you were gonna say I have a hard on. I was gonna say, well, they must have been decent.
No.
But
hard time separating things.
But I will say the biker gang is the only gang in the movie that they're not surfers. It's they're not biker surfers. No. They're legit bikers.
Yeah.
So you would think they would have something else in this movie.
It's a missed opportunity, basically.
It is.
It really is. It's a missed opportunity. So then now, after this, they start offing the other gang members off randomly. The gang members, I think they offed someone off, and I forgot who they were. Now that we're talking about it, Was it the hippie gang? Did they off a couple of the hippie guys off?
So something happened that actually made the Nazi gang turn a little bit more violent.
They were surfing. No, well, I think they were surfing in the area. It was the hippie gang, and they ended up killing them.
Oh, no. You know what it was? Hold on. They actually set the boards on fire on the beach while Adolf and Ava were laying like sunbathing.
No. That's later.
Oh, see, I don't know how far you are because I didn't think they killed that Jesus guy yet.
No, that's later. No, because they killed someone, because this is what made the gangs want to go after him. And then that's when the boards were set up. That's what I was getting to.
See.
Yeah.
I see. Actually, I think the first person they killed was Leroy.
No. Yeah, but that's the own side story. They killed Leroy already.
Right. That's why I'm trying to think about like the gang, like what
they killed them, and then they someone was surfing. I'm pretty sure it was one of the hippie crew, because I remember words. Fuck, I'm talking too quick because I gotta slow myself down sometimes. So they were showing more hippie guys because they only had the 3 normal, and then there was a couple extra just kind of sporadically through the movie. And then these 2 were surfing there, and I'm pretty sure they were kind of more like the bro type ones. They weren't so much the hippie with the long hair ones. Remember there was a couple like bro type, like almost like college jockey, a little bit more
jockey kind of,
but they were still wearing like tie dye or whatever, like they were still. So they were surfing in the area, and they ended up getting in a fight with the guys on the beach, and they killed them. Not to be confused with the fight with the samurai guys earlier, where they just walked off.
Right.
So then they
killed the one guy.
Yeah, because then they had another gang meeting with just the others without. Oh, excuse me, sorry, fucking hiccup and a burp at the same time. They're the worst. They had another gang meeting with the guys, everyone but the Nazis, and they were like, "All right, we need the member now. Your favorite character, Mex, was like, we need to strike back at them. Since there's no laws, they play by no rules. We got to have no rules. Yada yada yada." And that's when they planned the attack, and that's when they attacked Ava. And then while they were sleeping on the beach, and the fucking bombs or whatever fire bombs went on their boards, and that's when the dude got his neck. That was the cool thing, because like Hook appeared out of a garbage can, like he was just sleeping in a garbage can with trash on him or whatever. It was like they set a trap up, even though the other guys were trying to trap them. It was this weird, like it just was a fucked up kind of scene, like the way it was filmed.
It's like they were laying in wait, knowing they were going to be attacked.
Yeah.
But now the scene where the Asian gang meet up with the other guys to talk about taking out the Nazis, that happens like a little bit more than halfway through the film. The Nazis do get in a fight on the beach with the Asians.
That's earlier.
Before that, before that, but nothing comes of that. Like no one dies or anything. Yeah. And that was, I think, like one of the first actual like gang fights. Like you actually see them, and
they weren't really fighting though. They were just arguing.
Well,
the nunchucks came out and the sword, and they were kind of like dancing around, but they didn't actually fight. It was more of an art. It was like an exaggerated argument because Adolf came over and goes, "Hey, what's the problem here?"
Yeah,
and he separated them before it actually turned into a fight. They were just kind of.
That's actually when the sex scene was going on the beach.
Yeah,
and then Adolf just shows up out of like nowhere afterward, and
he's a quick guy,
Yeah, quick finish. And there's this. I still framed it earlier because I had to use the bathroom, and I still framed on a certain scene where the Asian guy is holding his little katana, like near his elbow, and he's holding the what's the cover called? The scythe. He's holding that upwards, and I freeze framed it, and it looks like he has his face painted like a little kitty cat.
Yeah, the one Asian guy looks really weird. I don't even know how to explain it.
He looks like he's 60.
Yeah, he looks like a 60-year-old
10-year-old
trans Asian. Like he just like looks weird. I don't even know.
It is
whatever.
Odd.
I don't really, I don't give. He just looks weird. Like he just has this weird face. I don't know.
Yeah, probably typecast.
Too much sun tanning, old, hard living. He could be a lot older than we think he is. Supposed to be playing like like a 30-year-old.
That's what I think it was.
Could be 65 for all we know. Like Asians are weird when it comes to aging.
Yeah. So, but they have the meeting of the the Asian gang, and my favorite gang.
And I know we're jumping around a lot, but trust me, you're not missing anything. And honestly,
well, the movie jumps around a lot.
Yeah. What's going to say? That's the biggest criticism of this movie. It's like really hard to follow, and it doesn't make any sense. So I feel like we're trying to tell it in a way that makes a little more sense.
It's like we're trying to tell it the way it should have been edited.
Yeah.
If we told this the way it actually was edited, we would be even more off pace.
Yeah, to a certain extent, because we are jumping back past other things that I skipped over that you wanted to talk about, but it doesn't make it any less confusing.
Yeah,
or more confusing. It's literally just this movie just is.
You kind of just have to watch
together.
it.
It's put together shittily. It really is.
It is. It is. Fuck.
So yeah. So now they had the meeting. Then they tried to attack them. Unless you have more stuff you want to talk about the meeting.
No, because after they have that meeting, they go to a scene where you see one of the hook hand guy go to Mangala and get a new hook, and you know, other than that, you do have like your pawn shop scenes, you know, but that's actually when the movie starts to get good.
Well, the second pawn shop scene where she goes to get. But we're gonna get that in a second because now the gang's attacked first before she goes on a rampage. So then all the gangs died, but the one. There was that cool scene where Mangala ripped that guy's neck open.
Yeah.
He's just like attacked a guy, no weapon. He just fucking bit his neck and tore it open. And they didn't go crazy with the special effect, but it was enough to be believable. You know, they didn't go crazy cartoony with it or crazy Troma like other Troma films, you know?
Yeah, I was actually expecting it.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be this big ordeal, and it was like nothing. And like, all right, well, that's kind of how it probably would go in real life, maybe.
Yeah, like there's a scene. I mean, we'll get to it eventually, you know. But like one of the Asian guys gets their throat slit, and you could see all the latex on his neck. Like
they did a bad job hiding it. Yeah, they did a bad job.
Thick fucking cast, and I'm ashamed, but I rewatched it in slow-mo because they slit his throat, but his face doesn't react till the hand is away from his throat, and I guess that was his cue, like, oh, they cut me. Oh! And then he died.
Here's the thing. I think they used a real razor in that, so it better have been fucking thick, because that girl would have cut his throat for real, and it would have been problems, because she had a very heavy hand through that, if you noticed it. If you looked at it.
She went in there.
That blade went into that, and it had to have been thick because he would. But it's not even where it was thick that it looked fucked up. It was where they tried to blend it in with the real skin. It was.
That's where it looked like cakey.
So bad. Yeah, it was so bad. They could have done a way better job blending it.
And we know they could have done better because later in the movie there are some effects that are decent.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess now we should go to the pawn shop where she like storms into the pawn shop and she's basically
this is when the movie kind of turns into like Foxy Brown a little bit.
It just turns into a straight up revenge flick now.
Yeah, and it's like the old black lady who has probably been in 10 minutes of this entire movie, like 30 seconds here, 40 seconds there. She's now in just about every other scene.
She's your main character.
Yeah, and this is when the movie's pacing picks up. Last night when I tried to watch this, I didn't make it to this part. I fell asleep because it was late, and I did also slow. I mean, but if we could tell you, make it through that. Don't fast forward it. You watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
But make it through the first like 40 minutes, and then the rest it moves like a normal movie.
Agreed. Yeah, like. It's kind of like the last just 20 minutes of the movie, really. If that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of...
Yeah, I would say last 20 minutes to a half hour. The 10 minutes before the last 20 is all set up for the grand finale.
So the pawn shop keeper is kind of... a little nervous and a little slimy. Yeah, he's definitely... But he's also very nervous talking to her. Like she's definitely got that badassness, like oozing from her. And you want to say the line? I know you like it.
Well, the line that I expected her to say was, "I'm a proud black woman, and I don't need no man, and I'm independent." Like that kind of strong black, ass kicking woman. But that's not the line that she said. Are you talking about the one in the pawn shop?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me set it up then. So So she goes in there, and he's being his sleazy, slimy self. He's trying to sell her like a bong, all the different, like a clay bowl, tobacco, all this stuff or whatever. And then she goes,
hold on. Sorry, I had it. There's like a few of them on this, but yeah. I want to buy. Oh wait, but he offers her a Derringer, a small little hand pistol, and he says, "Oh, it's great for women. It's great for self-defense." And like, she looks at him and she goes, "I want to buy a gun. Keep talking, white trash, but I'm more interested in something that'll take the head off a honky for 20 paces." And like the guy like looks like he shits himself.
Yeah, it was just funny. Like the way she says it. She's like, I
She's
just
got
needed
that,
to take the head off a honky at 20 paces.
Yeah, she's got that soul, you know?
She's definitely got something, like when she acts. Like you could, I know it's overacting to a certain extent. Like
the scene where she's at her son's funeral by herself is some of the worst acting I've seen in a long time.
No. I'm talking about her overacting. Like when she's trying to be comical, she's got something that's funny. Like she's got this, like she should be in Dolomite movies or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying she's a good actor. She just has something when she does certain scenes. She's like electric. You know what I mean? It's funny. If
you told me she was in like some other blaxploitation films, I would 100% believe you.
Actually, I want to look that up right now.
Yeah,
I
you know what?
I should have did that earlier, but
well,
I didn't think we were gonna go into. Her name is Gail. Gail Neely is her name.
Yeah, and the lady's name is Eleanor Mama Washington.
Yeah, I said I was calling her Big Mama. Like she's listed in the movie credits as just Mama. So I was like, I was calling her Big Bad Mama. That's like her. That's what I was calling
her. It looks like she got started in '86. Nothing really.
Well, she was Eleanor Mama Washington in another movie. Joe Bob's Drive-In Theater TV series, Last Chance Labor Day, Thong Bikini Festival, 1995.
Oh, God.
Eleanor Mama Washington.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, she passed away in 2004.
She was in Naked Gun 2.5. I don't know. She was Winnie Matilda. I haven't seen that movie forever, so I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
So then...
She was in Earth Girls Are Easy as head nurse. That was kind of a funny movie.
Yeah. Now, it is weird because after... When she gets the gun, she asks how much or whatever. He's like, it's like 129. And she gives him like this look. And he's like, but I'll throw in ammo and I'll throw in a pipe and I'll throw in whatever you want. And I'm thinking, $129 for a Walther P38? Yeah. Dude, go find one for one. Yeah, okay. I'll pay $400 right now for one. Get the fuck out of here. But then the last thing is like, oh, I got this, I got that, I got grenades. And like her eyes light up. She goes, you got grenades?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how my eyes would go if a sleazy pawn shop guy offered me grenades. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he just got done trying to sell you tobacco and pipes. And he says grenades. Like, that's a pretty big jump.
Do tell. But obviously I wouldn't... I wouldn't be buying them now because they're illegal, but we're talking like in more Mad Max times.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. I'd love to get a hold of a grenade, though.
I've held a real one that was defused, and they're actually very heavy.
I will say, how heavy was it? Because everyone says that.
They're pretty heavy. Granted, it was an older pineapple style one.
Okay.
One of my... Funny story, because you wouldn't have these in class anymore, but one of my history teacher had it on his desk. He used it as a paperweight. Yeah, but even though it's defused and it's missing a bunch of parts to it, it still weighed like 2 pounds.
Oh yeah, they had a solid frame.
Well, the frame is what kills people, because
the fragmentation of that.
Yeah, the fragmentation of the frame. So it's heavy, whatever. But yeah,
heavy metal.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's fucking sweet, though. So, after the pawn shop scene, you get the scene where the skate rats are just like doing some basic 80s skateboarding behind like that warehouse building. and Mengele shows up and he wants some information off them, and he actually like it looks like he tosses them like a little thing of money. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna need new shirts," and they just tell him something big's going down, and he said, "Okay," and he leaves. What kind of information? You just paid for information, and that's what you get? I want my money back.
Agreed.
You had a scene where Smeg writes this little note to Adolf because he's like afraid to tell him in person.
I still don't get Smeg's role. Sorry.
No, I'm just. You know what? You know what I think it is. I think he was probably one of the newest or one of the last members to join the gang, and he hasn't really proven himself yet. So he you know what I mean? He's like the rookie. I'm not saying he's needed.
Mother trying to keep him out of the gang.
I know,
and then she steals him through the windows. We're going to talk about. I didn't even think it was worth mentioning. That's why I didn't mention anything about it. But like, I don't get it because like that's all like. He was going to write a warning, but he doesn't ever really talk to Adolf. Yet he spies on them having sex, like on the rocks. Never gets in any of the gang fighting or anything like that. Like, and then he.
That's what makes me feel like he's like a rookie. Like he's like a new member. Or maybe he wasn't jumped in yet. Maybe he was like an associate. You know?
No, because he was wearing all the Nazi stuff though. He was in full like gear earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he was at the meeting.
Yeah, and he was at the meeting, but he never, joined in on any. He was just like a worthless character. It just
maybe they had to pad the numbers of the gang because they wanted them to have the most, so they just randomly threw in. Yeah,
I don't get it. It just drove me.
Basically,
drove me nuts. His character just fucking bothered me. Just to be straight up.
Look,
yeah, his character.
I mean, I'm not offended that he was there, but I'm with you that if he wasn't there, it wouldn't have made a fucking lick of difference.
No, I think it just added minutes to the movie. It might honestly, his character and his mother shit could have been added last minute to fucking pad the time. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
But then, like you said, they also took 10 minutes away from it. So
yeah. No, but who knows what they took out? It could have been maybe they wanted to pad the time before it was cut to. You know what I mean? You don't know what they.
Yeah,
they
and there's not a lot of information on
thinking.
movies like this.
Yeah.
Then a lot of montages. Did you notice that? Was that like an 80s thing?
Yeah.
Or just like
it was a total 80s thing. They had the whole like a death montage, and then
like the gang's getting ready to battle.
Yeah.
Kind of leads nowhere.
Then you had her whole battle scene at the end was almost like just like a long montage in a way.
Kind of, but it was actually worth watching.
Yeah. So now we're at the point where she's got her gun, she's got her grenades, and she sneaks up on the gang while they're sleeping and throws a grenade in, and somehow they kind of survive and they come out, but they're like half blown up, like they're.
Oh wait! There's another thing before that.
What?
She gets the gun, and then Smeg tries to leave, and he gets caught by his mom. And then you have the scene where Adolf and Ava are sleeping on the beach, and the
we talked about this already.
You were right, but I'm just saying I'm trying to remember in order so I know the parts that are coming up.
All right.
Anyways, this is when they dispatch the samurai gang, right? And basically they're no longer in the movie, but the pipeliners are in their car and they see the whole thing. So basically the pipeliners are like, okay, well, they're all dead, so we're fucked.
We'll get them at the bunker later.
The bunker, right.
Yeah.
And that's basically
Their
the entire
headquarters.
rest of the movie takes place at that bunker, kind of.
It doesn't, though.
What else? I'm trying to think where else after
Just the whole chase, like it leaves. Like
oh, right, yeah, they get out of the bunker.
The bunker is only the grenade toss, and that's it. Like that's all. They leave the bunker. The rest of the movie.
Well, that one guy, the one guy in the gang, he blinds the other guy. They show up to the bunker, so they actually do get one person.
Yeah. That gang gets in and kill. Yeah, I forgot that came first. Yeah,
That's what I was trying to remember because they actually did accomplish something.
They blind the one guy with acid. Yeah, I forgot about that. And then the other dudes get killed, and then the other dudes get killed pretty lamely because they think they're outnumbering, and then they just die. Like they kill them. And it's not like you expect it to be like this epic battle scene, and it's not. And then Adolf kills the guy because he's blinded by acid, and then it cuts. So it doesn't last very long, which is why I forgot about it.
Right, yeah. No, it doesn't last very long, and it has nothing really to do with the movie. But Adolf walks up to the guy who was blinded with his harpoon gun, which is the weapon the blind guy was using throughout the movie, and he shoots him at like point blank range in the chest. It doesn't really show it. Like, they really could have did a lot with that. But you see the harpoon like kind of go in them, and they change the angle real quick, so you kind of see it sticking out. But
well, it looks like they shoot a body, like not like a real person, but they
like a dummy.
They cut to a dummy, and then there's no blood. They don't. The angle you're getting at is of like a shit angle from down below, kind of up.
Yeah,
it's like a long shot. It's a smart shot if you don't have much to show. You know what I mean? Like, it's a clever shot.
It hides it.
Yeah, it hides everything well, so you can actually shoot a body and it look real to a certain extent,
Right.
So then then she comes in with her grenade, blows a couple of them up. Then she jumps on. They jump. Oh, she shows up on a motorcycle for like, which I don't honestly remember where she got the motorcycle from.
I don't think they show.
Yeah. I don't. They probably don't show. She shows up on a motorcycle. She blows them up with a grenade, but then they got on her motorcycle and take off, Ava and Adolf. So she gets in their van and is chasing them down with the van. So I don't understand why they had them switch.
No, wait. After that, she gets on the motorcycle and goes back to the nursing home to get her gun. And then the Nazis show up.
Okay, yeah,
that's
right,
where,
And
so
she goes and blows them up with a grenade and doesn't have her gun. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then she goes all the way back to the nursing home to get her gun, and then like the nurse tries to confront her.
Yeah,
like,
be all tough about it. Yep.
Yeah. So Big Black Mama throws her up against the wall and puts a Walther in her face and tells her.
That was kind of funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
But the Nazis show up, or Adolf and Ava or whatever, and they hop on her bike. When she walks out the front door, she has the gun, and like there's this like weird like little dancey moment, and then they hop on her motorcycle and they drive off. And
it's actually she actually almost has a shot at them. She's gonna take it, but the damn nurse is in the fucking way.
The nurse, right? Yeah.
Because she's all stumbling out of the retirement home.
Yeah,
and then she gets knocked out by Ava and Adolf. Or knocked down, I think, or I don't know, whatever. She gets knocked down.
Yeah, she's out of the picture.
Yeah, she's out of the picture. Then they steal her bike. So then now she's in their truck, chasing them, which doesn't make any sense. And then they park and grab some surfboards because surf Nazis must die. They have to steal surfboards
it has to go somewhere
from some stoner hippie guys, and Big Mama comes up and she's like, "You guys are kind of fucked up down there," or something. Like she says, like,
"Oh yeah,"
because they're like, they're knocked against the thing and they're like bleeding, and she's like, "Surf Nazis did this to you," and they're like, "Uh huh." She's like, "Where'd they go?" It's just hilarious. Like she just spits them out real quick, the way she's talking, and they're like that away, and then they cut to these two guys talking about fishing, and they're like, "Let's get on the boat to go trolling." And she's like, "You're about to go trolling for surf Nazis." And then now she's on a boat, which is totally not a fishing boat at all. It's like
a cigarette boat.
Yeah, cigar boat, I think they call them.
Cigar boat.
Yeah, it's similar to that, like the older, like 1950s, like little wooden speedboats. You see them in a lot of movies. They're popular.
My dad had one.
Yeah. So, but here's what's like the two guys they show in the beginning. Neither one of them is on the boat. It's like a totally different guy now, even though it's supposed to be one of them. Did you notice that?
It's like they had these actors the one day when they filmed.
Yeah.
But the guy who had the boat, the stunt guy, he wasn't able to film that day. But he was able to film the actual.
It's probably the owner of the boat.
And he's like, "Wait, you want these guys to ride my boat?"
No one's driving my boat. I'm driving my boat. This is the So now it's like a totally different guy. So now she's driving this boat across. Like they make it seem like they got like miles ahead on these surfboards through this channel, because now they're in like it seems like a channel or on the outside of a jetty or whatever. But it seems like an inlet. It seems like an inlet.
An inlet, yeah. Yep.
But it's not rough. I'm used to inlets being fucking rough. You would never take a surfboard through an inlet.
It's like an inlet of a bay.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but you see the like Point Pleasant Inlet or whatever in Jersey.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking rough. You can drown. Like if you fall in, like you're actually not allowed to swim anywhere near. Anyway, but it's pretty calm there. Maybe it's just because it's a bigger inlet, and those ones are pretty small.
I think, like you said, it was probably like an inlet, but it was probably like on a bay side, so like there wasn't any real waves.
The inlet connects the bay and the ocean, so the whole inlet is fucked up. Like
right,
no matter what, I'm thinking it's just open more. Like it's a lot wider.
Like in Delaware, if you go like to the inlet bridge, if you come out near the ocean side, it's bad. But if you're on like the bay side where it opens up to the bay, it's a little bit calmer.
But see, that's probably really wide. The inlets I'm used to in Jersey are literally only like 70 feet across.
Oh yeah, no, that's tiny.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think it's just a big open inlet, like you're describing. I'm used to
like 400 feet, 500 feet wide.
No. These are like 75 feet wide. They're not like.
Oh, okay.
You can you can barely fit a large ship. You know what I mean? You couldn't fit a large ship. Like that's how.
No, it looked wide open in these shots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's why it's so calm, is because it's such an open area. So,
which is also hard to believe they'd actually get that far away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it seems like the boat's traveling, the way they cut it, makes it seem like she's traveling for several minutes, which would mean like they would have got miles away. So then,
at least, yeah.
So then they see them with the boat. So the guy, they're circling them, and it's cut kind of poorly, but I get why, because they can't get too close to the real people with the boat as they're circling. But I feel like they could have done a slightly better job. But then she makes him run over Ava, and her head gets decapitated from being run over by the boat. And it's actually kind of a decent looking head in the water.
It is a good shot.
It's a pretty decent shot. I'm kind of surprised that they had such a good setup for it.
The setup shot actually shows the boat run over, probably a mannequin or a dummy, but you actually
see the head come off.
Yeah, like, dude, they must have had like one take with that, and it just was perfect how they hit that dummy, that the head came off the boat, like underneath the wake. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then they had the close up of the decapitated head, and it was a really good head.
Yeah, and then she cheers, which is hilarious. She's like,
yeah.
like
she just won like a $50 scratch off. You know? Like,
it's hilarious.
Right.
So I think she takes like a shot or two at him, and she might have hit him in the leg or something. Then he just like pops up with super ninja skills and throws his knife, his bayonet or whatever he's been carrying around, into the driver. And then now they're like circling around, and the knife just magically in the guy's back, and he's dead, and she has to take controls.
They zoom out after the guy gets hit. They zoom out and they show the boat still moving, and it looks like he's like dying, but he's clearly still driving the boat. Like, he still has.
That's what I'm saying. The boat's still going in circles. That's what I was saying. Like, he's.
But I'm saying in real life, it's him. Like, he's the guy to act like he's hurt, but he still wants to steer his boat.
Yeah, well, like the way they did it, he just like kind of fell on the controls, and the boat just had to go in a circle. So you don't see him actively moving and steering.
Oh, you do.
See, I didn't see that on there.
Yeah, next time, because I even said, like, after he died, I thought he would have hit the ground and she would have been steering, but he's still like hunched over with his hand on the steering wheel, and you could see the boat like going left a little bit. Like, his hand is actually, and then they cut to the close up, and now he's on the floor and she's actually operating the boat.
Well,
you know what I mean?
They cut into her tossing him off the thing and taking control like mid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she throws him off. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
immediately.
I no, like, you don't see him moving around, but the way he dies and falls over, he falls over so that the wheel's like cocked, and the boat's just kind of like going in a circle and like.
Right, but his hand is the one operating that. He's not doing that with his body. Because I went back and I looked to see why it looked like he was still dry. Like, I thought he got hit by something.
Yeah, but like, it's feasible, because if you get hit with a knife and just say you instantly die and you're holding the wheel, you're not going to let go of it.
No, but I'm not saying it like that. I'm going off of like how they shot it.
Oh,
the guy was obviously
a different way, but yeah.
I'm saying he was obviously either a stunt driver or he owned the boat, and he wasn't gonna take the risk of trying to like prop up against the steering wheel while it was moving. So his hand was still, fully grasped on it, like moving, steering the boat.
I didn't see it move at all. That's what I'm trying to say. I thought he was just propped on it and it was just spinning around, like, it just, anyway, that's
next time you watch it, just pay attention for that, see what you think.
So now
she does drive it though.
Yeah, she's now chasing him, sort of, and I think she's shooting at him, and then I think does she think she runs him over or what? I don't know. Then all of a sudden he pops up behind her.
She hits him. She shoots once.
Yeah.
She hears him go, "Oh!" And she goes,
like,
"Yes,
I got him!" Yeah.
And then she lights up a cigar.
Yeah.
And he's not in the water, but his boards like ran over in pieces. And then all of a sudden, it kind of pans around her shoulder.
No. Okay, no. All right, now I remember what happened. I don't know why I forgot this. So, randomly, after she hits him and she's cheering her cigar, a fucking wave comes out of nowhere and crushes the board, and he sinks under the water. But like, there's no reason for this. Like, there would be no wave there ever. There
wasn't a single wave in this chase at all.
No, but like, it's like a surfing wave, like almost like a shore break wave. And it crushed, and then he disappears, and all of a sudden he's jumping behind her in the boat, and she catches him, and she says some fucking line. I forget what it was. I should have wrote it down.
Oh, you don't remember that line? That was the taste some of Mama's home cooking.
No. She says something before that, and then when she goes to shoot him, then she said that. No, that I remembered. But she says something. It's like muttered, and I don't know if she was saying something like, "Do you think I was gonna fall for that or whatever?" Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When she catches,
she did say something before she put the gun in his mouth.
Yeah. She catches his arm because he's about to like stab her or whatever. I don't know if he pulls a knife out of the guy's back or whatever, and then she goes, "Yeah, taste some of Mama's home cooking it off," and shoots him in the mouth, and he goes flying into the water, and you see like blood come out, but it's a really poorly done part on her because she closes her eyes and like kind of curls her hand when it's like this really bad. She had no gun control. Obviously,
again,
no one.
We're bringing up the gun control.
No, it has nothing to do with safety. It has to do with making it look realistic. Is what I mean by gun control.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what again, we're bringing up the actual realism of how guns are shot in real life and how they appear in film.
Because there was that one scene where she was like kind of peek around the corner with the gun, and she like bent her wrist around the corner instead of like looking. Like it was just like really bad. It was just really bad. Sorry, I'm being attacked by my dog right now, so if my mic is cutting in and out, it's because I'm fending him off because he's trying to jump up.
Oh, no, it's all good. Dude, I forgot about that, but yeah, earlier when she poked around the corner and she, like, bent her wrist, like, I've never seen that before. Yeah. Like, that's, like, the worst tactic.
She, like, peeks and just, like, bends her wrist around the corner. Like, it's so bad. But, yeah, and basically, the movie just ends with her smoking her stogie after she kills him.
Well, they have a little zoom in our face, and it's like
that's what I mean.
There's a little bit of blood. Yeah. She's having her stogie, but then they cut to her on the motorcycle.
She gets sprayed with blood on her face.
Oh yeah,
from the thing, and she's like closes her eyes even more and like flinches. Like it's like poorly done on her part, but like it was kind of funny effect.
Yeah, no, I thought it was okay, not terrible. And
I'm just saying it was poorly done by her. It was just funny.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. I feel like half of her performance, when her performance was like a comedy based, I think she was killer. When it had to be a little bit more serious or a little bit more sincere, I didn't think it was that good. But I think she did a strong job for sure.
Agreed.
They cut off the boat, and she's riding the motorcycle, and they have like a close up of her like with her mouth open, like screaming, like "yeah!" And then like it zooms down.
Isn't she smoking a cigar then too? Probably.
Yeah,
like,
she has a cigar.
Yeah,
while on the bike with no helmet.
That's what I mean. They just kind of like ends, and then
that's it. It fades, and then you got your credits. Credits are pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the credits are. The way they separate the gangs, and they show like they give each gang and everyone in them their own little like section.
Samurai Surfer,
they show their names. The Stardust is the people at the nursing home. I figured out
nursing home, right?
Yeah,
and then it says like the biker bar. I didn't think there was this many people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there because there was the slave guy being walked around by the girls, and ends up being two of them because he gets petted by Brutus on his way out.
Dude, I think those girls were twins.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people like around the bar in general. Yeah, it was.
it
was probably just a bar. It was probably just some biker bar in the area. They're like, "You guys want to be in a movie?" Like,
yeah, dude. Honestly, because like, there's a lot of like I know of a lot of bars that operate as bars, and bikers kind of claim those bars. So it's not like the bikers own it, but it's like where they hang out. And it's basically what this was. It looked like everybody in that bar was probably affiliated with the bikers of whatever. But realistically, it looked like an operating bar, like a real life, you know what I mean? How should I? Okay. I want to rate this movie fairly. And I'm going to be honest, the first 40 minutes of the movie is kind of a drag.
It's like a 3, the first 40 minutes of the movie-ish, maybe slightly longer.
Yeah.
There's a few little moments here and there, and it also depends on people's sense of humor and how they take the scenes. Maybe they might laugh at something differently or...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, the performances definitely made me laugh quite a few times. But... pretty much from the pawnbroker scene, where the mama walks in to the rest of the movie, I was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 7 there, maybe.
Yeah,
solid.
Yeah, 7's
7.
fair.
Yeah, solid 7. So like overall though, the movie's like maybe like a 4.
I'll say maybe a 4.5 at the most.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's in the 4s.
Yeah.
Because it's just you can't make up for that much of a slowness. I mean, like I said, maybe other people will think otherwise because people's tastes are different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your sister might give this movie a 10 for all you know.
Well,
Gore.
I feel
with the way she rates things.
Though, if somebody is into Troma films, like movies that Troma made, and they see this, they're going to be disappointed.
It doesn't feel like a Troma movie.
That's what I was going to say. Okay. They're going to be disappointed because I was expecting like over the top gore, and even like halfway through the movie, I'm like, well, maybe like the last end they just go nuts, and it doesn't have that feel.
I feel like I mixed in other movies into this too when my memory.
I mean, you've seen tons of fucking movies.
I've seen so many Troma movies too, like, and other movies. That's why I spoke a little more highly of this movie. I'm not disappointed we reviewed it. It's worth
no,
because we have to review all sorts of different movies. We're gonna have to review movies that also suck too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Those
are gonna be my favorites
necessarily, but it wasn't. It wasn't anything special either. It wasn't. It just dragged. It was such a drag. It really was.
It was a slow moving movie.
Yeah. All right, so now that we're basically done going over that movie, I know it was a kind of a hot mess a little bit there, but we got through it.
I think it's the movie's fault.
Understatement. Yeah, it's the movie's fault. It's definitely the movie's
for sure.
Fault. Blame it on that. It's not our fault at all.
Nope.
Anyway, so how would you remake the movie? What would you do to make this movie better if you were to remake it? What would you do in a nutshell? Just nothing crazy.
All right. Well, let me say I wouldn't change 90% of the score.
Okay.
Obviously, the woodwind brass ass playing I would get rid of, and that weird electric guitar thing I'd get rid of. But the score I would keep.
Okay. Agreed. We're both in agreement on that.
I would establish the beginning of the movie, actually like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the movie, what it was like before the earthquake. That way you can get a little bit of an idea how these gangs operated when life was normal.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd have
even have the earthquake part of the movie.
Yeah, like during the credits almost, like have like the earthquake about to happen, and then what I mean, when the credits are done, you're like maybe a year or two after, and like things have just progressively gotten worse,
Maybe show them selling drugs with the bikers to kind of tie in that scene later on.
Yeah, kind of just set up. I would just set up scenes to make more sense, and I would put them in order like a legitimate fucking movie. Like, that's my biggest gripe with this movie is it's all over the place, and a lot of the shit is pointless. But I would keep the third act 100% the same. completely. Wouldn't change a fucking thing. Maybe some of the editing, obviously some of the effects and this and that. But like,
we're looking at
story-wise,
it as you have a better budget. So yeah, you would film the whole third. You would keep the same idea of the third act, but you would film it better. Basically.
Yeah, and the entire first and second act, I would film it in a way that a coherent, non-coke-headed ADD trying to explain a movie to somebody, I would film it in a way that it's actually, coherent.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it, honestly.
All right. That's fair enough. That's a good assessment of how you would change it. It's just tweaked and better. Obviously you have a better budget.
Yeah.
Change some things. So I would keep the score too. I like the score. I like the Casio-ness of it.
Yep.
And it was also a different tone. I haven't really heard that tone in a movie before. The way they did that, I thought it was unique. I liked it.
I think it was because of the cheapness. It had actually, lent itself to the movie.
It was just different than other sound tones because it's like it's electronic. You can make it sound like whatever.
Well, in the 80s, everyone was using like the Roland Juno or like the 808. Everyone used it, and every movie almost sounded the same. This one did not use that.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
I like it.
Okay, so I would keep that. Now, I would almost make this one movie or the other. I would totally change it to where it's a straight up just gang war movie,
or
like
revenge.
you said, show. Yeah, like so. I would have them show what it's like before the earthquake. Like the gangs, like we may be feuding, or maybe they're getting along, and then the earthquake happens, and then how it changed, and then now things are separated more than just have it like it's just a straight up gang war movie. Like the old exploitation.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. Which
gunfights, maybe knife fights, whatever, blood, gore, cool kills, but add a little more story to it. A little more depth, kind of like how maybe they do try to call a meeting to get everyone together, and then it goes south, like similar to the Warrior style, but not kill anyone because I want it to be different.
But which which movie would you rather make though? That is tough.
I can't pick one. I don't know. And then the other, if I were to go the other way, I would film it as a straight up revenge movie of like, I feel like I'm almost ripping off Death Wish a little bit because no, just let me finish before I say where I'm ripping off Death Wish because I would want her to maybe unite some of the townspeople. So like the movie would start out having like everyone like getting along, and then the earthquake happens, and then like how everything goes to shit, and then her son gets killed, and that drives her over, and then maybe more rampant gang, more gang violence.
Yeah, not just
people,
not just purse snatching on the beach.
Yeah. The set, maybe some like brutal kills, maybe throw like like a rape scene in there or something just for shock value.
Gotta have a rape. Yeah, gotta have a rape scene. I mean,
it's like 80s movies. There's a lot of them in them. It's just it adds shock value to the movie. It's an exploitation movie.
In the Grindhouse, you know what you're gonna see.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe have her lead a couple of the locals or whatever, and then go right into the revenge. And then I would want to keep that end 20 minutes as the finale.
Yeah.
Had them fighting at the bunker, maybe on the beach, and then lead to the docks, and then they take off on the boats.
Yeah.
And the movie the way it is, but reshoot it, add a little more budget.
Now, I also think something that would have been a nice element, because it's kind of unbelievable that everything looks to be operating normal, but there's no cops, there's no EMTs, and there's no firefighters. Have the cops, make them corrupt, make them work with the gang, so that way the cops can't help, they're no help. You know what I mean? Like, I think that would be decent too.
In the one version, like maybe corrupt cops would work a little bit. In the other version, I would leave it as
the apocalyptic
the gangs are the cops in a way.
Yeah.
They're running everything. It's
I think
almost like
in the gang warfare movie that would make better sense.
Yeah, I would want my movie, the other movie, the gang war movie, a little more like Escape from New York, where the California is kind of like separated a little bit.
Yeah. But not like Escape from LA, because that movie was hot garbage.
Yeah, well, but the idea of Escape from LA where California falls off from the map, like maybe not so that far, but
but
maybe where it is similar, something similar, where it's
ideas from that.
Yeah.
But I
like
see it.
I like Escape from New York a little more, just the way they set the movie up, obviously. But I mean, Escape from LA is pretty good too, though. I did enjoy it. It's nowhere near as good as the original,
right?
It's still fun. It's still fun.
It's fun, but like I said,
it has its problems, but it's still fun.
Yeah, just comparing it to the first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's night and day. You know what this movie was missing?
What?
Rob Schneider. And I guess
Rob Schneider as a dolphin.
I guess the movie companies actually thought that too, because just like 6 years later, they made the American family comedy with martial arts called Surf Ninjas.
I mean, it's obviously Surf Ninjas is a direct comparison to this movie.
I'm surprised they did not get sued for plagiarism.
They just changed the name Nazis and put ninjas in instead.
Well, so actually, what I heard...
It might have actually originally been Surf Ninjas Must Die, and then they just changed it to be a little more family-friendly.
Because you can't have dying.
No.
Actually, I heard it was actually Surf, the N-word that rappers use, and the ratings board was not having it. Because they were like, hey, instead of having Nazis, we can have... And then before they even got to say it, they're like, hey, how about not? And so they got Surf Ninjas. And like you said, they got rid of the Must Die because, you know...
All jokes aside, I think it's directed by the same guy. Not really, I'm just kidding.
Neil Israel. And written by Dan Gordon. Wow.
Maybe they're relatives because Dan Gordon wrote Surf Ninjas.
Unbelievable. They had a $5 million budget, and they couldn't give, like... 25 grand more to Surf Nazis Must Die.
I don't know.
Prick. Either way,
sons of bitches.
The one thing that they definitely have in common is that they're all over the fucking place. Because
this movie was crazy too. They
holy
went
shit!
All over with this movie.
Like, you got these kids who are martial artists, and Rob Schneider, he's like 30, but he's playing like a high school kid, but he's 30, and he's clearly 30.
Is he playing? Yeah, I guess he is, isn't he?
He's supposed to be the same age as the older brother.
Yeah.
And then
that's Ernie Reyes Jr., right?
Yeah, and I actually like Ernie Reyes Jr. Like, I know
there's nothing wrong with him. I mean,
I know we're dogging the movie, but like, I like him.
No, Ernie's he's a good little actor.
Yep, they Wait, yeah.
I'm looking at his IMDb right now. I'm just going through it, and there is a movie in here I must see just because of the name of it. I mean, it might be actually a fucking sequel to Surf Nazis Must Die because it's called Ninja Apocalypse.
Cue that up. We got to make sure we remember that.
I have to try to remember that one.
Now, it also says Tone Loc was in this. I guess Sir Mix-a-Lot was unavailable.
Yeah. No, Tone Loc was very popular in these movies because he did Ace Ventura.
Yeah,
he did.
I know. I'm bragging on him too.
I know.
But he actually had 2 hits. He had 2 hits, whereas Sir Mix-a-Lot had 1 hit. Because he had Wild Thing and he had Funky Cole Medina.
Yeah, but then again, we are white. Maybe he had more hits if you were black.
I don't know about that. That's stretching.
I don't know.
And of course, how could anybody forget from the awesome Taken movies, Liam Neeson? No, sorry, Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen from
not from Taken.
Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Series.
Could you imagine though, Leslie Nielsen in the Taken movies?
That would change. It would be watching Taken, but like airplane style. Like a total parody spoof of Taken.
Like when the daughter's hiding under the bed and like the guy can't find her, but then she just like lets out a fart, and then like all of a sudden you see the feet turn around.
Not even that. I feel like instead of hiding under the bed, she should be like sitting in a chair in the corner, and you just can't find her. He's like walking around and he can't see her, and she's like maybe has like a sheet on her. I don't know, just something dumb. Like, you know what I mean?
They did. Well, the first one was kind of like the original Scary Movie, where it had a few dumb moments, but it was actually kind of funny. But then they just got too stupid.
Scary Movie ruined it for everything.
Yeah, Scary Movie really Dude, you remember those like shitty knockoff Scary Movie type movies that were coming out?
Not another teen movie. Then
Yeah,
I still Know What You Did Last Summer and on the 4th of July or something. I don't know. It was some like ridiculous.
There was a epic movie. There was Meet the Spartans.
And then there was superhero movie or something.
Oh, they're just so fucking bad.
So bad.
Hey, you know what though? You should live stream. There was a video game of Surf Ninjas.
There was.
Huh. Okay. Hey, if you want to check that out, make sure you hit us up on Patreon.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the Sega Game Gear, so we'd actually have to get a Game Gear. Oh no, it was on the Sega system as well.
I don't know if it actually was on the Game Gear, because there's a picture of it in the scenes, but there's the Angry Nintendo Nerd did a really in-depth like half-hour video on Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they talked about it, that the game didn't exist.
Okay, because I thought
it was in production, I think, of being made and didn't actually exist.
Okay, because I remember him saying something along the lines of, if the game was as cool as the game in the movie, that people would have played it.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember.
And also, even if it wasn't originally finished, that doesn't mean somebody could have picked it up years later and finished it, because that's actually happened to quite a few unfinished games from back then. But it says Surf Ninjas video games were also released for Amiga 1200 computer and the CD32. Are they talking about the Sega CD32X?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. No, they're talking about the Amiga CD32.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
We were actually talking.
I didn't even know that's a thing.
Yeah. Well, it was like,
idea.
Okay, if it was a Sega 3D 32X, or if it was a 3DO, like maybe they got mixed up. But then there's this complete other shit system that nobody ever probably played. The original idea was to actually do like a rundown.
It does exist. Maybe. You know what? Maybe they had the Surf Ninja game in, and then they switched games or something, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Or maybe he played them on the original systems they were released for, but he said in the movie the kid played it on a Game Gear, and it never came out on the Game Gear.
No, it did. It did.
Oh, it
I'm
did?
looking at a video of it right now, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. Huh.
Yeah. There was something with the game. I remember it being in the thing. Yeah.
So, did you notice on Wikipedia, it says Ernie Reyes Sr. is Zach and Ernie Reyes Jr. is Johnny? His dad was in this movie?
I assume so. He was Zach. I don't know. I don't know this movie well enough to...
Yeah, I keep getting this...
This was just a big joke that we were going to compare this. We weren't really going to do like
actual research
breakdown of this, and we did no research on this. I'm literally going by memory of this movie.
Well, I keep getting this movie mixed
up. Unfortunately, seen this movie a couple times. Are you getting mixed up with regular Three Ninjas?
Yes. I'm actually getting this movie mixed up with Three Ninjas, Rocky and Tum Tum, and, old man Machida, who clearly has a stunt double in his fight scenes, and then they zoom in on his face with
there's like 4 or 5 of those Three Ninja movies.
Hulk Hogan's in one of them.
Is he on one of these?
Yeah, he's in like the 3rd or 4th one. Hold on. Why the fuck am I Googling Three Ninjas? What do you got me doing here, dude? Ninjas.
Because it's funny.
It is hilarious. Hulk Hogan. Three Ninjas. High Noon at Mega Mountain. 1998. Yeah.
No one saw that one.
Well, no one saw a lot of Hulk Hogan's movies.
No, I'm just saying, like, no one saw that one.
It's on Tubi.
I'm sure it is. I know you're watching it.
Tubi is literally like the new Grindhouse. I love you, Tubi.
I realized Hogan was in Spy Hard.
Spy Hard?
Yeah, with Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, I thought that was the fucking name of the porno that is Bubba the Love Sponge released with his wife.
Who?
You know, Hulk Hogan had a sex tape released a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it was released by Gawker, and then he sued Gawker for like 120 million and won.
Did he really?
Yeah. And Gawker
didn't someone steal it from his house though?
No.
That's why they got released.
Gawker went out of business because of this, because Gawker bought the security footage off of his friend Bubba the Love Sponge, is like a radio DJ. And there is a hidden camera video of Hulk Hogan having sex with his wife, and they took that footage. They knew.
I thought it wasn't. I thought it was some random chick, and it wasn't his wife. That was part of the problem too.
No, he was already
wife?
He was already divorced from Linda at this point, and it was Bubba the Love Sponge's wife that he hooked up with in their house. And they
so he is. Yeah, it is with another girl. Oh, you said it was with Hogan's wife.
No. I said it was Bubba.
That's
the
why
Love
I was
Sponge's...
arguing with you.
No, I said it was Bubba's wife.
No, you just kept saying it was his wife after you were saying Hogan the way you were saying it.
No,
that's why I was confused.
I said Hogan had a sex tape with his friend Bubba the Love Sponge. It was his wife. That's why I said it was his wife. Yeah, no, it was Bubba's wife, and they recorded it on like secret security footage, and then they sold it to Gawker or whatever. They sold it as a sex tape, and Hogan sued the shit out of him, and he won, and Gawker's no longer a website because of it. Or it's no longer a news media outlet, whatever.
I mean, did we really lose anything from Gawker not being a thing anymore?
Well, I lost my childhood now knowing what Hulk Hogan's penis looks like. Let's be fair. I knew what it looked like before the video. I'm just saying. Like, come on. Dude, if you watch the court case, Hulk Hogan is on the stand, but he's asked Terry Bollea, and they were like, oh, well, do you have a large penis? And he was like, who, me or Hulk Hogan? And they're like, what? He's like, well, Hulk Hogan has a very large penis, but Terry Bollea has like an average penis. I swear to God, he said that.
This whole end of this just went in a totally different direction than as planned.
Welcome to the Grindhaus.
And I am uncomfortable talking about Hulk Hogan's penis.
Okay, fine. We'll get away from it. So
it's just fucking weird.
So Macho Man's penis was actually looked like a Slim Jim. Oh, I miss Macho Man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my last podcast ever with Gray.
Hope
you enjoyed.
Make sure you guys tune in next week for Guess the Wrestler's Penis.
Yeah. Guess how big the wrestler's penis is.
Dude, are we going to have an episode on Hulk Hogan movies at some point?
They're not necessarily Grindhouse, but...
Well, like, okay, so obviously, like, Mr. Nanny...
It would probably be like... just a for funsy thing. Maybe it's a Patreon video. Not that people will be paying to see that, though. I don't know.
Well, he does do some crappy action movies, not just Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando or Santa with Muscles, but like there's this movie called The Ultimate Weapon.
Yeah, God, it's so bad.
Did you see it?
Yeah. I don't remember. I've seen pretty much most of them. Yeah, there's The Ultimate Weapon. There's Thunder in Paradise. There's Suburban Commando.
Oh, Thunder in Paradise.
Yes, to have a movie and the TV show because they had that badass fucking stealth boat.
Yeah, that was like the best part of it.
And it had, I think it was Carol Alt was the girl in it, and she was like really hot model back then.
Okay,
but she's still pretty, but she doesn't stand up as much now
as when she did.
Because you're younger and the times were different, and you had a different standard of
hotness.
But if you gave her a makeover, she would be smoking. It's just you know what I mean? The style was bad. A lot of those models back then, you can still tell they were very pretty, but just the fucking style of the 80s and early 90s was just
it's also it's kind of like when like you get like you get these younger kids now and they look at pictures of like girls from like the 40s and they're like, oh, like there was no hot girls back there, dude. It was the time. If you would have brought those girls up to today and you would have given like the today makeover, they'd be stunning. So, you know.
I mean, obviously, there's No Holds Bar. That's just a classic.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's such a classic.
2K. Well,
the whole them fighting for the Battle of the Tough Guys is like the worst name ever.
Yeah.
On Battle of the Tough Guys.
It's like the most generic bullshitty name.
So bad.
How did Hogan ever act again after that? I don't get it, man. I really don't.
Well, I mean, Sperm Commando also, like, that had fucking The Undertaker.
It did.
And someone else. I don't remember who off the top of my head. But
it was another wrestler, though. I do know that.
Yeah, because they were the
henchmen.
The bad guys, that he was after.
And Undertaker, like, he got, like, kicked or something, and he said something, and his voice was real high pitch, and he's like, "That's why you guys don't talk." I remember that.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's in there.
Yep. I was frozen today.
I'm trying to look for, like, names.
It's not. I mean, we're not going to do the entire Hulk Hogan discography.
No. For the wrestler that's in there, because Undertaker's list is Mark Calloway, so I know he's in there.
Oh, so now you got to think about real names.
Yeah, I want to say it might be Dennis Berkeley, but I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna click on him. Oh no, that's not him. I actually know who that is when I look at his face.
Is Dennis Berkeley the guy who had the race car next door?
I don't know. He's the fat rednecky dude, heavy set.
Okay, yeah.
You would know him when you see him.
No, I saw his picture.
Yeah. I didn't know the guy was dead. I'm just trying to figure out, like, who, like, because Hutch is the name of the one. Maybe Knuckles. Maybe it's Tony Longo, the other guy. This guy's dead too. I noticed, like, a lot of people are fucking dead when I look at fucking films. It's really bad.
Yeah,
like a lot of those guys that we're looking into in some of the movies last week are like all dead. Even the guy, you remember, we were like, oh, that guy would be good for a Rob Zombie movie, and it turns out he was in one, but the reason why he's not in the other ones is because he died.
Yeah. Fuck. It sucks. Because I think it's a part of getting older, though, too. Like, yeah, we're going to start losing some of our childhood actors here, you know.
No, but a lot of these guys died young.
I know.
Like, when we look at them, they died when they were in their 40s or 50s, like, early. And you're like, holy crap, I didn't realize that guy died. Like, that's why you don't see him in anything anymore.
I just want,
not long after making the movie.
I just want God to keep Bill Moseley safe, because I know we can get some more out of him, for sure. And it just sucks that some of the classics, we do lose them, but luckily we have the collection of movies that we can see them anytime we want. That'll never change. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our first non-horror review. Again, if you have the time, it is not a bad watch. Just make sure you get a cup of coffee for the first 40 minutes so you stay awake.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Surf Nazis must die. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. I mean, we gotta just end it off as bland. There's not really much to say.
No, I mean,
kind of kill it.
Look, that's it. Surf Nazis must die. If it sounds like your type of movie, it probably is. If not, don't be surprised.
Watch it anyway and yell at us in the comments.
Yeah. We're waiting for that. Still, people seem to agree with us though a lot, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I am Gray.
I'm Wolfman.
We'll see you next week. Same bat time. I don't want to get sued. Yeah,
no.
We'll see you next week.
Well, that and there's no guarantees. It might be a day late. You never know.
Oh, yeah.
You never know with us, especially with everything going on right now. No guarantees on times.
Yeah, but you'll always get it.
Yeah, they'll always get it. Just may not be at the same exact time. It's always going to be the same channel, though.
So same channel. Same
channel.
Two hosts.
Same two hosts, roughly the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
Don't quote us on that.
Don't quote us on that.
See you guys.
Bye.